you. Fans, the teams will take the field in about 8 minutes at 12:55. At this time, get to the concession stand one more time for your game day favorites of Morningside College football.
Absolutely. And you also mentioned Aganyaga, their quarterback, and they like, I guess, the big play. It seems like he doesn't have a whole lot of completions, but he's scored a lot, and he, eats up the yards through the air, it seems like.
He throws the ball down the field well, and they do a number of just trick or gimmicky type plays that they've had some good success with. So our guys are going to have to stay awake on defense.
Absolutely. Now looking on the defensive side of things, if you take away that playoff game, Coach, some of the defensive numbers they've put up this season are phenomenal. They had only allowed 35 points in the entire regular season up until that playoff game. What do they do well on defense that you're going to have to watch out for?
Yeah, I think that score last Saturday was greatly affected by turnovers and just kind of the nature of the game. Sometimes the game can get turned into a track meet, but they're outstanding against the run. They do a great job of playing the run and fitting things up in the box well and getting an extra player into the box to make it hard to run. I think they have a linebacker, number 7, Sam Squarlow, who's just an outstanding football player. But they do a great job of running and getting to the ball, and they play with great speed.
How are you going to have to play on offense to guarantee your squad has success on the ground against this great defense?
We just need to execute. I mean, guys just need to do what they need to do. They can't try to do something extra. They just have to execute the play as it's drawn up, and then maybe it doesn't quite go the way you expected it to. You got to turn around and play the next play.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned the linebacker, Squarlow, who, like you said, he leads the team in tackles. I also look at the other 2 linebackers they have listed who have combined for 7 interceptions. Do they like to drop their linebackers a lot in coverage, and what kind of dynamic does that add to the contest?
Well, yeah, I mean I think a lot of it just goes back to their speed, their ability to get to the football when it's in the air, and they just do a great job of playing their defense. They're not overly creative. They don't try to fool you per se, but they play their defense and they play it really well.
Absolutely. Coach, what are you going to have to do on the broad scale on offense to have success against Baker's D?
Well, the number one thing is we've got to be able to hang on to the football and not turn the ball over. And then number two, we've got to find a way to be able to run the ball and keep the ball in our hands.
Absolutely. Hope that's an outcome. Coach, we appreciate your time. Best of luck against Baker.
All right, thank you.
Yep, that's head coach Steve Ryan, head coach of the Morningside football team on our Drilling Pharmacy pregame. We'll be back to Olson Stadium after this on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back to Elwood Olson Stadium here on the campus of Morningside College. Daniel Versteg, former East High head football coach Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline as well. It's our Drilling Pharmacy pregame report getting you ready for the 65th annual NAIA Football Championship Series quarterfinal round between number 7 rated Baker University out of Baldwin City, Kansas, and the number 1 rated team in the country, your Morningside Mustangs. Mustangs 9-0, Baker 7-0. Something's got to give, and one of these two teams going to come out of here with a trip to the semifinals. Before we get going, let's actually take a look across the country on our NAIA playoff scoreboard. Right now, Kaiser leads Reinhardt at halftime 14-7. That game being played in Florida. Lindsey Wilson out of Kentucky, the number 3 seed in the country, leads Concordia out of Michigan 14-7. That game being played in Kentucky as well. And with 2:31 in the first quarter of that contest. Down in Des Moines, the number 2 overall seed Grandview leads Northwestern 14-7. 6:56 left before halftime in that contest. So everybody's 14-7, and the top seeds are all leading their quarterfinal contests here so far. One game at halftime. This game just about ready to kick off. Morningside and Baker, the 5th meeting all time between these two squads. These two have met twice in postseason play. And before that, they had a little 2-game series back in the 70s with Baker taking both of those games in 78 and in 79. But Morningside got the better of Baker in the other 2 playoff games. Morningside has not lost to the Wildcats in playoffs, in the NAIA playoffs. And hoping that streak continues here. Bob, when you hear Coach Ryan talk about Baker and getting ready for this contest, what do you look for Morningside to do successful both on the offensive and defensive end to ensure a victory?
Well, I think defensively they got definitely stopped the run. J.D. Woods is their guy, and thus my guess is their game plan is going to be to take him out of the game plan,
right.
and like they very much did last week against Carroll. But the difference is Carroll was a kind of a one-dimensional team. They really struggled throwing the ball, and they
right.
really struggled dropping back and throwing the ball vertically. But at least by the numbers, Baker can throw the ball a lot better than that, and they probably have a great play-action game. And like Coach Ryan said, they probably have some trickery and that kind of stuff in their route schemes and stuff. But offensively, all they got to do is be Morningside. I mean, Morningside does not need to game plan against anybody as much as they just need to be themselves, because they're the most balanced football team and a team that can make you defend the entire field more than anything I've ever seen in my life.
Right. Well, that's what we're looking for in this contest. Morningside has won the toss. They've elected to defer their choice to the second half, so we're going to see Baker start with the football here. They will be receiving and going from left to right as we view it from the home bleachers, home press box, the Irving and Carolyn Jensen press box here at Olson Stadium. So let's take a look at the starters. We'll start with Baker University on offense under second-year head coach Jason Thorin, who is 16-3. In 2 seasons as the head coach of the Baker Wildcats. The number 7 rated team in the country looks like this on offense. Across that offensive line from left to right, left tackle Cal Harris, left guard Rocky Juarez, center Dylan Jorns, right guard Jordan Finn, and the right tackle is Brandon Lanier. The quarterback of the Baker Wildcats is the 5'11", 190-pound senior out of Elsa, Texas. That is Marco Aguinyaga. Aguinyaga, a first-team South Division Heart of America Conference pick this season with 1,100 total passing yards, 9 total passing touchdowns, and he has 4 rushing touchdowns, completing 57% of his passes this season. His running back, of course, J.D. Woods, the guy that, the dude, if you want to call him that. He has 916 total rushing yards here in 7 games on 153 carries, 14 rushing touchdowns. He currently ranks him 10th all-time in the history of NAIA football in rushing yards, and he can move up to 9th with a couple of yards here, potentially even up to 8th on the NAIA rushing list. He's also 4 touchdowns away from the NAIA career rushing touchdown record. Tight end target is A.J. Tata out of Overland Park, Kansas. Wide receiving targets, Nate Pauley out of Garden Plain, Kansas, Tywan Lewis out of Olathe, and Zeke Henson out of Belton, Missouri. That's a look at the Baker offense. Take a look at the Morningside defense. Hasn't changed a whole lot. On the ends, at the defensive line, Nicholas Gustav, CFL draft pick of the British Columbia Lions, and Seth Maitland as well, both on the defensive ends. Defensive tackles, Carter Anderson and David Rios. Outside linebackers, Weston Schultz and Jalen Portis. Middle linebacker is Tyler Winger. The corners, Stephen Evans and Jamal Jones. And the safeties, Drew Bessie. And the reigning defensive player of the game from last week is Joshua Miller. We are ready to go. The quarterfinals of the postseason are back at Elwood Olson Stadium, and Brendan Franke kicks this one high into the air, sends an end-over-end kick, and it bounces out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So Baker will start their first drive of the quarterfinals at their own 25-yard line. So here we go, Bob. Baker's going to come out on offense on their first possession. You expect to see a heaping dose of J.D. Woods here on this first drive?
Well, I would think so. That's what they do best. And I think if you're here at the game or watching it being streamed, I think what you want to do is watch number 13 and just see how active he is, and that will tell you their game plan. See, right now he's looking for the back, I believe. Right, and it looks like they're going to set him to the running back.
Yeah, he's playing basically even with Tyler Winger, middle linebacker. Aguinyaga takes the snap out of the gun, hands it off to the left side for J.D. Woods, who picks up 3 yards to the 28-yard line. Make it 2nd down and 7 as a bunch of Mustangs bring him down.
You just saw their game plan, because at the snap of the ball, Josh Miller went flying to the line of scrimmage, and they ran away from him. But that means he's the quarterback's guy. But right now, that's that looks like the game plan, very much like last week.
2nd down and 7. Here on the first drive of the ball game for Baker at their own 28-yard line. Aganyaga lines up in the gun, 2 receivers to his right and 1 to his left. Woods to his left-hand side. 1-step drop, fires left side toward the boundary, and the catch is made out there by Tywan Lewis at the 33-yard line. Gain of 5. It's quickly 3rd down and 2 for Baker.
That's Gabe Wagner playing corner there, isn't it?
That is Gabe Wagner, yeah. It's not Steven Evans. Looks like they're going to maybe keep him on the bench here before they put him out there. Gabe Wagner getting back out there after starting last week as well against Carroll. Mustang fans getting noisy. They had held Carroll to 4 of 15 on 3rd down tries last week. Here's 3rd down and 2. I formation under center for Aganyaga at his own 33. Turns, fakes the handoff, play action, rolls out right, fires over the middle. Leaping grab is made inside the 45-yard line by Sam Huckabee, the junior. He's brought down to the 44. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down on 3rd down for the Wildcats.
That's a well-designed play, a good call, and a well-executed play. Baker came out in 22 personnel, 2 tight ends, 2 backs. It's 3rd and 2, so everybody in the world thinks they're going to run. They run play action off it and drag the tight end across. That's and well executed. 13:25 left in the first quarter. First possession of the ball game for the Baker Wildcats. 1st and 10 of the 44, near hash mark. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right of Aganyaga. He turns, gives it off, tackle left side. J.D. Woods trying for the corner. Bessie missed his tackle, and Woods runs out of bounds on his own sideline at the 49-yard line. Gain of 5, it's 2nd and 5. What you saw there is what Coach Ryan talked about, what he fears the most about Woods, and that's his speed. Bessie had the angle on him, and he just outran him for a 6-yard gain.
So it'll be 2nd and 5 here for the Wildcats. They're at their own 49. They're knocking on the door of Morningside territory. 2 receivers line up to the right and 1 to the left of Aganyaga in the gun. Woods to his right side, a tight end on the right side as well. Turn, fake the handoff, Woods. Dump off a screen pass right side, and the catch is made. And into Baker territory on the reception is Nate Pauley to the 42-yard line of the Mustangs, I should say. Gain of 9. It's another 1st down for the Wildcats.
Just a simple bubble screen, and I've told lots of people that I don't think a play has changed football more than that single play.
Right.
And it's such an easy play, but it really horizontally stretches the defense. And if you don't, that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to have an easy 7-yard gain.
1st and 10 for Baker now at the Morningside 42. 2 to the left and 1 to the right of Marco Aganyaga. Stands in the gun, takes the snap, no drop, fires right side, and that catch is made by Huckabee once again. A flag comes out after the tackle as Huckabee is brought down near the marker at the Morningside 33. Right now a gain of 9, but we'll wait for the flag.
I think they're going to get Morningside for holding, but I'll tell you what they should do is get an offensive line for being downfield. I mean, that was probably an RPO, and their right guard was 7 yards downfield.
It got Morningside for a personal foul face mask, so that is tacked on to the end of the play. And now Baker is into the red zone at the Morningside 15. Really quickly, the Wildcats making a statement here. 1st and 10 of the Morningside 15. Aganyaga in the gun on the right hash mark. 2 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. He takes the snap, the give to Woods, looking off, tackle left side, left numbers toward the 10, and is pushed out of bounds by Bessie and Wagner. At the 10-yard line, another 5-yard gain brings up 2nd down and 5.
I'll tell you right there, the tight end, number 34, who was in the slot position, A.J. Tata made a great block on the perimeter player, the outside linebacker, but again, you see Woods, he's got good speed.
It's the reason he's one of the top rushers in the history of NAIA football. And it is now 2nd down and 5 of the Morningside 10-yard line. Aganyaga in the gun, 2 to his right and 1 to his left on the left hash mark. Morningside cheats a linebacker up into the box and backs him off. We've got a flag on the play as Baker didn't snap it before the play clock expired. It is a delay of game on the Wildcats. Oh, no, they got a timeout just in time. So a timeout called by the Wildcats. With 11:33 left in the first quarter, we're scoreless, but Baker is knocking on the door of the end zone. We'll take a break. We're back in 30 to Olsen Stadium. You're listening to Mustang Football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. Welcome back to Olson Stadium. Daniel Versteg, former East High head football coach Bob Goodwin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline. 11:33 left in the first quarter. Scoreless on the People's Bank scoreboard. But Baker has second down and 5 of the morning, side 10. Here's Aganyaga in the gun. Takes the snap. A delayed handoff left side. Woods bounces off tackle outside the left numbers and is wrapped up inside the 10 and pushed out of bounds by Joshua Miller and Tyler Wingert. They rule him down at the 7-yard line. Gain of 3 makes it 3rd and 2.
Well, we're going to be saying this a lot today. But you saw really good speed there by J.D. Woods. He tried to run it into the B and C gap and just bounced it outside because Morningside had every gap accounted for, and he's got excellent speed. I would maybe not necessarily this play, but sometime down here, I think they're going to take a shot on Gabe Wagner. I just think he's the guy to attack down here if you're Baker.
Single back formation. Aganyaga under center. 3rd and 2. Turns, gives it to Woods. Right up the middle. He's got the first down and is short of the goal line at the 1-yard line. He had a late extension with his right arm. Comes up short. It's a 6-yard gain. And now 1st and goal for the Wildcats at the 1.
Yeah, that's really good vision. You saw a really good cutback on the play. And I think right now you're going to see 4 straight carries if they need it to number 1.
I formation. Aganyaga under center. Turns to his right. Gives it to Woods. Tried to leap over the line. Second effort comes up short again. It'll be 2nd and goal with 10:20 left in the quarter. Woods tried to leap over his offensive lineman. Couldn't get there. And the Mustangs stop 1. They've still got 3 more.
If you have a play-action pass on the goal line, 2nd down is the best time to throw play-action.
Well, here it is, 2nd and goal. They fake the handoff, bootleg left side. Aganyaga looking for the pylon. He breaks a tackle and reaches into the end zone for a Baker touchdown. Aganyaga got wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage, broke free, and extended the football over the pylon for 6. And Baker leads Morningside early, 6-0 on the People's Bank scoreboard.
And there's your 2nd down play action right there. It's the best time to do it because you still have 2 downs to get the touchdown if it doesn't work.
So now the first team all Heart of America Conference kicker, Devin DeRoos, for the point after try, sends it straight through the uprights to cap off the drive. Baker scores a touchdown in 5 minutes. It's 7-0. Baker leads Morningside, 9:55 left in the first quarter. We'll take a break. We're back in 30 seconds to Elwood Olson Stadium. You're listening to Mustang postseason football here on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back to Elwood Olson Stadium here in Sioux City. Daniel Versteg, former East High head football coach Bob Goodwin up in the booth. We'll be joined by Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline here after this kickoff. 9:55 left in the first quarter of action. Number 7 rated Baker leads number 1 rated Morningside 7-0 here on our People's Bank scoreboard. An 11-play, 75-yard drive that took 5 minutes and 5 seconds off of the first quarter clock ends in a Marco Aganyaga rushing touchdown on a bootleg. Now they try a short pooch kick, and it is fair caught by Jack Seaver on the left numbers at the 40-yard line. So Morningside will have first down and 10 at their own 40. Pretty good field position. Let's check in with the third member of our crew. That is Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline for us. Nathan, what is the feeling after Morningside gets punched in the mouth on the first drive?
Listening to that defensive meeting down here, they were just talking about, making sure you set your edge. The black side guy makes sure there's no fakes. And it's a long game. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Nathan. Check play action. Fake fires deep down the left sideline. And Austin Johnson is broken free. And that's a way to answer. Johnson scores the first touchdown of the ball game. And from 60 yards out, Morningside trails by 1. 7-6 Baker on the People's Bank scoreboard.
That, Daniel, is exactly why I say the formula to beat Morningside is not necessarily to run the ball for 3 yards and get a 7-minute drive and score a touchdown, because Morningside will come back and score in one play.
A 60-yard strike to Austin Johnson, who had at least 10 yards on the next closest corner, and he broke free for the extra 20. And now the point after try by Chase Carter right through the uprights to tie the game. One play, 60 yards, 10 seconds. And Morningside's tied it 7-7 on the People's Bank scoreboard. 9:45 left in the first. We'll take a break. We're back in 30 to Elwood Olson Stadium. You are listening to Mustang Football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back to Elwood Olson Stadium here on the campus of Morningside College. Daniel Versteg, former East High head football coach Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline for us as well. Morningside and Baker tied at 7 on the People's Bank scoreboard. We'll get a check-in with Nathan here after this kickoff again because, really quickly, another score by Morningside. And now Brendan Franke approaches. And he boots this one high into the air, end-over-end kick. It is returned 3 yards deep in the end zone by Jordan Green. Takes it up the left hash, 5, 10, 15, tries to dance his way through, and is brought down to the 17-yard line. Not much brewing there on the return by Jordan Green, and that sets up Baker 1st and 10 inside their own 20. Let's check in again with the third member of our crew, Nathan Hoagland, down on the sideline. Nathan, one play, Morningside gets in for 6. How about it?
Yeah, before the game, overhearing things, they were saying they liked that matchup, and I think they like it so far.
I would say that as well. Thank you very much, Nathan. Yeah, but it looked like a game plan there, Bob, on that first play of the drive, and Morningside ends up with 6. Here's 1st and 10 for Baker. Play action. Screen pass out to the right side. Pauly following his blocker and gets 5 yards to the 22 outside the right numbers. Actually, they gave him 6 to the 23, so that'll make him 2nd down and 4 for Baker.
Yeah, if you go back to Morningside's touchdown, that's definitely something they saw on film. And they on 1st down, they ran play action, and so they anticipated the safeties, if anything else, having their eyes in the wrong position. And because I'm guessing the corner expected some safety help, and there was no safety help to be had. So somebody probably blew a coverage, had their eyes in the wrong place.
2nd down and 4 here for Baker at their own 23, lined up on the right hash mark. 7 seconds on the play clock, 9 minutes on the first quarter clock. Aganyaga in the gun, 2 to his left, 1 to his right. Takes a snap and overthrows his screen pass for Nate Pauly and incomplete. Makes it 3rd and 4 for Baker.
Well, Baker's come out and shown me that they're going to throw the bubble as long as you give them the bubble. That's the 3rd time in about 10 plays they've thrown it, and 2 of them have gained 6 yards, and that would have gained the 1st down had he not overthrown the receiver.
So Baker converted 2 of their 3rd down tries on the first drive of this ball game. Ended up scoring an 11-play, 75-yard touchdown drive. It's 7-7 on the People's Bank scoreboard. 3rd and 4 at the Baker 23, 5 receivers, empty backfield. Aganyaga drops back, 4-man rush, fires over the middle. It hits the hands of J.D. Woods, but he couldn't haul it in. Weston Schultz and Drew Bessie on the coverage stops Baker dead in its tracks, and it's 4th and 4.
Yes, sometimes offensively you just got to make plays when there's plays to be made, and you got to keep Morningside's offense off the field. And in that situation, that's a great throw by Aganyaga. I mean, he hit the receiver right in the numbers, and he's got to catch that ball for the 1st down and stay on the field.
So Canyon Sanders, the sophomore punter, ready to kick this one away. Schwagert standing at his own 43 to return it. Sanders sends a high spiral, couldn't quite cut through the wind. It bounces off a Mustang. It kicks away. Loose ball. Schwagert picks it up inside the 35, and gets tripped up there. Boy, hold your breath type of play on the punt return. It bounced off of a Mustang that was trying to block for Schwagert downfield, and luckily Morningside able to retain it 1st and 10 at their own 34.
Yeah, they're very fortunate to keep the ball there, and you're exactly right. I think the ball bounced off the helmet of the blocker, and
yeah, it wasn't even Schwagert. He was trying to step up and return it, but that darn helmet was in the way of that blocker. So, well, luckily Morningside retains possession. Not quite as good a field position as they would have had otherwise, but it is 1st and 10 at the 34, lined up right smack dab in the middle of the field with 8:35 left in the first quarter. 7-7 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Dallin checking the gun, gives it to Sims, off tackle left side, takes it up the seam to the 38-yard line. Gain of 4 for Anthony Sims. It's 2nd and 6.
Well, Baker is what we call a 4-2-5 defense, and if you're going to run a 4-2-5 defense, those 6 guys better be pretty good against the run, because that's all that's left in the box.
Dallin play action, trips to his right, drops to throw, fires over the right seam. Jurgensmeyer makes the catch, lost the football. It is ruled incomplete. What a hit downfield by the Baker secondary. That makes it 3rd down and 6 now for Morningside. Not very often you see a hit that jars the ball loose from Reed Jurgensmeyer.
Yeah, you can count on your hands how many times Reed Jurgensmeyer's dropped a ball in his career, and credit the defender there. He just made the play, but what you're seeing is Morningside receivers are wide open in the windows, and that doesn't bode very well for Baker down the road.
3rd and 6, Dallin check of the gun. 3 to his right, drops back to throw, fires right side. Jurgensmeyer wide open outside the right numbers, 45-40, and steps out of bounds at the Baker 41-yard line. Big gain for the Mustangs there of 21 yards, and it's 1st and 10 for Morningside.
Yeah, Morningside's dialed in right now offensively. They know exactly what Baker's going to do coverage-wise, and that's why you're seeing guys wide open. I mean, there's 3 passes and 3 guys wide open.
Dallin lines up in the gun, 1st and 10 of the Baker 40. 2 receivers on either side. Play action, fires over the middle. It's tipped at the line of scrimmage, popped up in the air and over Reed Jurgensmeyer and everybody else. Incompletion. It's 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, that was an RPO slant right there, and looked like the ball hit the helmet of a defender, one of the defensive linemen perhaps.
Maybe that defensive tackle, Nathan Spain. I think he was on that right side there. 2nd down and 10. 3 receivers to the left of Joe Dallin in the gun. Takes the bell-high snap, fires left side, short pass complete to Reed Jurgensmeyer, and he is dragged down for not much. Bryson Briggs, the free safety, brings him down to the 35-yard line. Gain of 5 makes it 3rd and 5.
But what that 5-yard gain does is just makes 3rd down more manageable. It opens up your entire playbook. If you want to run the ball here, you can, thinking it's 4-down territory, and your entire pass game's there.
They do give it to Sims up the middle of the field. It gets 1st down yardage to the 30 and is brought down to the 26-yard line. That's a 9-yard carry on 3rd and 5, and it's 1st down for the Mustangs.
And that play's not in the playbook if it's 3rd and 10. So that 2nd down hitch that picked up 5 yards opened up the playbook.
7:05 left in the first quarter. Morningside and Baker tied at 7 on the People's Bank scoreboard. 1st and 10 for Morningside. 3 receivers to the left, none to the right of Dallin in the gun at the Baker 26. They motion Jurgensmeyer to the right side over there. Dallin play action fake, drops back 3 to throw, fires over the middle. Jurgensmeyer gets hit before the pass comes in, and there's the flag for pass interference. It'll be 1st down for Morningside after this pass interference call.
I think what I see there is when they brought Jurgensmeyer in motion across the formation, you saw no reaction by Baker's defense other than widening the corner, which is no adjustment. So my guess is Morningside's got some motion packages ready to go if Baker's not going to do anything to the motion.
Pass interference is called on the Baker defense. Be half the distance to the goal. Well, it should be. They gave him the 15 yards. And it actually is just a straight 15-yard penalty. So 1st and 10 at the Baker 11-yard line for Morningside. Dallin lines up in the pistol. 2 receivers to his left. Motions twin tight ends to the right side as well. Dallin turns to his right. Gives it to Sims. Trying to find a hole. Doesn't get one. He's brought down for a yard gain at the 10-yard line. Looks like Spain on the stop again. It's 2nd down and 9.
And that's what I'm talking about right there is you move two guys and Baker doesn't move any. And now you got numbers, you got leverage, you got people out of position.
Pistol set, handoff Sims left side. He gets 2 yards to the 8-yard line this time. And now it's 3rd and 7 with the line to gain being the 1-yard line. 6:15 left to play in the first quarter. Morningside and Baker tied at 7 on the People's Bank scoreboard in the NAIA Football Championship Series quarterfinals. Valenchek lines up with 3 receivers to his left and none to his right here on 3rd down and 7 at the Baker 8. He takes the snap, play action, 3-step drop, fires left side to the back of the end zone. Johnson makes the catch. He is out of bounds. Couldn't get that left foot in on the back boundary. And it's 4th down and 7 now for Morningside, and out comes the field goal unit.
Yeah, again, though, you have a guy wide open. I mean, the ball looked like slipped out Joey's hand a little bit, and it floated, and thus Austin had to go up and try to catch it in the air and couldn't get his foot in bounds. But, again, you got a guy running wide open, and you're on the 7-yard line. Guys shouldn't run wide open on the 7-yard line.
This will be a 25-yard field goal for Chase Carter just inside the right hash. He's 1 for 3 on field goals this season. Snap, hold by Ladwig. It's a botch play. Ladwig bootlegs left side. Couldn't get around the corner out there and stopped at the 15-yard line. Ladwig fumbled the snap. Couldn't get it down. Had to run with it. And he is brought down out there by B.J. Harvey. And so Baker takes over 1st and 10 at their own 4, shuts down Morningside on the field goal, but now has tough field position.
I would like to see that replay because watching the kicker, I'd almost think that was a fake. It looked like the kicker was running off to the right. It looked like he didn't, if it's a bad snap, he should come through like he's kicking the ball. And it looked to me like, and again, I'd like to see the replay, if he didn't run behind the holder. And it makes me think maybe that was a fake all the way.
Well, either way, it ends up with no points, and we remain tied at 7 on the People's Bank scoreboard. There's 5:44 left in the first quarter. Baker now has 1st and 10 near their own end zone at their own 4-yard line. Aganyaga under center, close receivers, fakes the pitch, drops back to throw, fires over the middle. That's a free ball. Jamal Jones has an interception fall right through his hands at the Baker 40. So Baker will get another try. It'll be 2nd and 10.
That's excellent coverage by the Morningside defensive backs because they released the tight end running vertical, and there were 3 DBs running with him, and it was kind of an ill-advised throw by Aganyaga.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10, still at their own 4-yard line. I think that one might have gotten caught up in the wind up there. Baker is going against the wind here in the first quarter. Under center, Aganyaga, single back, takes the snap, hands it off left side. Woods barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. Not much there for Baker, and it will be 3rd down and 10 at the Baker 4.
Did you see who made the play in the backfield? The safety, Josh Miller.
Right. He's been all over the place here in the postseason. Defensive player of the game last week against Carroll. Might be making a case for another one here. 3rd down and 10 at the Baker 4-yard line. Aganyaga lines up in the gun, 2 to his right, takes the snap, screen play, right side. Pauly makes the catch, takes it outside the numbers 5, and is pushed out of bounds at the 11, just shy of the 1st down marker. It'll be 4th and 3 for the Wildcats at their own 11, and out comes the punting unit once more.
What that play does, though, is it gives the punt team some room. I mean, it gives the punter his full 15 yards, and that's important down there. That's the 4th bubble screen they've ran in 3 series, so that's definitely part of their game plan right now.
And Pauly's been the recipient of it. We were talking before we came on the air. Pauly had 32 receptions. The next closest Baker Wildcat that's still playing for them had about 10. As Sanders takes the snap, punt is blocked. Josh Miller blocks it out of the back of the end zone for a safety. And the Mustangs lead 9-7 on the People's Bank scoreboard. How about Josh Miller? He has a blocked punt here once more. 4:28 left in the first as Morningside goes up by 2.
It looked at me like the punter's not very deep. I mean,
no, he wasn't.
He's barely 2 yards deep in the end zone, and they're snapping the ball from the 8. I mean, he's only 10 yards deep, and if you're going to do that, you better rocker step punter and get rid of it pretty fast. And it didn't look like he did either.
So Morningside is going to get the ball back here after the safety as well. It is 9-7. Morningside leads Baker here on the People's Bank scoreboard. 4:28 left to play in the first quarter. Let's check in with the third member of our crew down on the sideline. That is Nathan Hoagland. Nathan, boy, what a block punt there for the Mustangs. Josh Miller gets his hand on another big play.
Yeah, for a second there, it almost looked like they weren't going to get a hand on it, and then just a burst of speed out of nowhere for Miller to get his hand on that.
Very impressive play. Thank you very much, Nathan. And Morningside now with a 2-point advantage. Their first lead of this ball game comes with 4:28 left to play here in the first quarter.
I would anticipate Morningside getting the ball around midfield here and have just excellent field position, because when they were kicking off from the 35 before they got it on the 40. So
right, Devin DeRoos has to kick this one off a tee from his own 20-yard line. Schwager and not back to return it. It'll be Schwager taking it outside the right numbers inside the 20. Takes it up the sideline, 30, 35, 40. Has a little bit of a seam and gets shoved out of bounds at the Baker sideline at the 43-yard line of Morningside. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 43.
That was actually a pretty good kick. I mean, he kicked the ball 60 yards in the air and pinned him on the sideline. So give the Morningside kickoff return team some credit for getting that much yards on the return attempt.
And you got to remember, Baker, was going against the wind. The flag over there suggests maybe the wind has shifted just a little bit. But we'll see. It's 1st and 10, though, for Morningside at their own 43. Dalenchek lines up in the gun with trips to his left, one to his right. Play action to Sims, drops back, fires over the right seam, overthrows Austin Johnson, and incomplete. A lot of jostling, no flag. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, that's about the 4th different direction I've seen that flag flying since I've sat down here. Because when I sat down, I thought the wind was blowing out of the straight out of the south, and
right.
then we just looked at it there. It looked like it was blowing out of the northeast, and that's what I think about this stadium. And the wind just swirls around this stadium, and you just
right.
don't know what it's going to do.
2nd down and 10 after the incompletion. Dalenchek, empty backfield, 4 receivers to his left. Pass complete on a hitch to Juergensmeyer. He bounces outside of the left numbers across midfield to the Baker 49-yard line. That's a gain of about 8. And it'll be 2nd down. Let's call it 3rd down and 1 as they spot at the 48.
That's too easy. That's too easy of a catch and throw for 8 yards, 9 yards, and
Morningside had 12 players on the field there for a moment. Dalenchek rightfully sends Schwager toward the sideline. On the gun, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Baker showing blitz. Dalenchek tried to get him on a hard count as he looks to the sideline for a change. 10 on the play clock. Dalenchek takes the snap, faces a rush, handoff up the middle. Sims gets back to the line of scrimmage, not farther. Great burst by Micah Walker, who makes the stop in the backfield for no gain. It's 4th and 1. And Morningside brings out a couple of tight ends and sends out their wide receivers. 4th down and 1 at the Baker 48-yard line. Dalenchek lines up in the gun. He's got 1 receiver to the right, 3 tight ends. Motion Swagert gives it to Sims right up the middle. He is close. That is really close to the 1st down marker of the 47-yard line. This might be a measure.
Well, if the ref gets the spot coming from their sideline, I'm going to say they're about a foot short.
Right. Yeah, that spot is not favorable. He is short of the marker.
Yeah, I think he's 11 inches short, Daniel.
Yep, Morningside turns the ball over on downs as they spot it just shy of the 47-yard line, and it is 1st and 10 for Baker. They have shut down Morningside and have only kept the Mustangs to a 2-point lead here with 3 to go in the first quarter.
Well, you saw their stout run defense their last 2 plays.
Morningside 9, Baker 7 on the People's Bank scoreboard. 3:03 left in the first quarter of this contest. And now the Wildcats have 1st and 10 at their own 47.5-yard line. A little bit of breathing room finally now for Baker after starting their last drive at their own 4. Here's Hagenyaga under center, single back, takes the handoff, right side to J.D. Woods. He breaks through across midfield down to the Morningside 45-yard line. That's a gain of about 7, maybe 8. And it will be 2nd down and 2.
Yeah, Baker lined up in 2 tight ends and 1 back there, what we call 12 personnel, and just it looked like they ran a little G scheme where they pull the backside guard and wrap him around for the play side linebacker. And what you see out of Woods is he's got a burst. He can plant his foot and burst.
And that carry by J.D. Woods now moves him to 9th all-time in the history of NAIA football. They give it to Woods again, left side, looking for the corner, and he is shut down for a loss by who else but Joshua Miller. It's a loss of 1 at the Morningside 46. It is 3rd down and 3 for Baker.
That's one of the telling tales of the shotgun offense is if you want to run outside zone or just what we used to call sweeps outside, the running back's always going to line up even with the back or with the quarterback. I mean, maybe even a half a yard ahead, and right there you could see pre-snap that was coming, and that's just the telling tale of the shotgun offense. It's nothing against Baker. Every team in America does it.
Right. 5 on the play clock. Aganyaga under center. Single back. 2 to his right. Play action fake. He rolls out right. Pressure coming. Dumps it back off left side. Catch is made. Outside the left numbers. Across the 40-yard line. And what a great play out there. Looks like Brennan Feeback on the catch for the Wildcats. To the Morningside 39, and it's 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
Well, that's kind of that trickery that Coach Ryan talked about in the pregame. And they lined FIBA up at the right side tight end, and then they booted towards him, and he just ran a little shallow crossing route across the field, and there's nobody left over there.
Brennan Feeback, the sophomore tight end out of Spring Hills, Kansas, gives Baker a 1st down on 3rd down. 1st and 10 on the Morningside 39. Aganyaga under center. Play action, bootleg right side, chased by Gustav. Fires it down the sideline. Catch is made by Nate Pauley, and he nonchalantly steps out of bounds of the Morningside 24. That's a 15-yard completion to Pauley on the run from Aganyaga. 1st down for Baker.
Well, Pauley ran an excellent route there. He ran a comeback route, and what you do with the comeback route is you get vertical to about 15 yards, and at that point the corner's got to be thinking you're going vertical, and then he just plants and comes back into the outside, and that's a hard route, almost an impossible route to cover. Here comes your outside zone look again.
Here's the gun set for Aganyaga. Turns, screen pass left side, goes to Pauley, and Drew Bessie runs him down for maybe a gain of 1 at the 23-yard line. And that's where they spot it. It's 2nd down and 9 here with 30 seconds left in the 1st quarter.
That's a great play by Bessie there. I mean, he came from depth and held him to a 1-yard gain. That's an awesome play.
9-7 Morningside over Baker here on the People's Bank scoreboard. 20 seconds left in the 1st quarter. This might be the last play of the quarter, unless we have a play that stops the clock afterwards, of course. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left of Marco Aganyaga in the gun. On the left hash mark. He steps up on the line of scrimmage. Now only 5 seconds left in the quarter. This will be the last play of the quarter. Aganyaga drops back, fires a floater, left sideline. A leaping crab is made. What a catch out there for a Baker touchdown. Sam Huckabee hauls in a diving catch, Superman style, to end the 1st quarter, and the Wildcats lead 13-9 on the People's Bank scoreboard.
And that's what I talked to you about earlier when Baker was inside the red zone before. Morningside's putting their corners on an island there. They're playing cover 1 on them, and you just knew a fade was coming at that point, and there it was right there. What a perfect throw.
Perfect throw, perfect catch. And a perfect kick caps off the drive. 14-9, Morningside trails Baker after 1 quarter of play on the People's Bank scoreboard. We'll take a break. We're back in 1 minute with 2nd quarter action. You're listening to Mustang Football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. And we welcome you back to Elwood Olson Stadium. Daniel Versteg, former East High head football coach Bob Goodman up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline. We'll check in with the third member of our crew here in just a little bit. End of one quarter, Baker 14, Morningside 9 on the Peoples Bank scoreboard. And now DeRoos sends a high, right-footed end-over-end kick. It is returned at the 2 left numbers by Jake Knott. He takes it outside the left numbers to the 20 and is brought down just past the 20 at the 21-yard line. Not much going there on the kick return by Jake Knott. And it is 1st and 10 for the Mustangs there. Let's check in with Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline, keeping an eye on things for us. Nathan, boy, that touchdown beautifully thrown by Baker. What is Morningside's defense looking to respond with here?
Yeah, basically all that's been said so far on the defensive meeting is don't do that. Whatever that was, don't do it.
Yeah, I like that advice. Thank you very much, Nathan. That was a beautifully thrown ball, though, by Aginyaga. Here's a completion to Reed Juergensmeyer. He picks up 6 to the 27, and it'll be 2nd down and 4 for Morningside. Mustangs working quickly here. Start of the second quarter. Baker 14, Morningside 9. Dolan checking the gun with trips receivers to his left. Play action fake to Sims. Drops back to throw. Chucks it down the left sideline. He well overthrew Austin Johnson. Incomplete. And just like that, it's 3rd and 4 for Morningside.
You know, going back to that touchdown, Baker's got 2 big wideouts, whether it's Huckabee at 6'3" or Henson at 6'4",
Right.
and that's a matchup problem for the Morningside corners if they're going to leave them on an island like that. So I would look for more fades if they get in the red zone and play that coverage.
3rd down and 4 at the Morningside 27. Trips to the left, 1 to the right. Dalenchek motions Johnson into the backfield as a running back. He takes the snap out of the gun, drops back, fires left side. Johnson makes the catch, has 1st down yardage outside the left numbers, 35, and rocked out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Gain of 10 when they needed 4, and it's 1st and 10 for Morningside.
See, that's what Morningside does so well. They've ran that play a million times with AP Ponder where they slip him in the flat like that. And that time they just motioned Austin Johnson back there. Different look, different guy, but very same play.
Johnson's 2nd reception, his 1st since his 60-yard score with about 9:45 left in the first. It's 14-9 Baker. Play action, Dalenchek 1st and 10, dumps it off to Jack Sievert, breaks off a tackle, is getting pushed by his offensive lineman across midfield to the Baker 48, a gain of 15 to Jack Sievert, and it's 1st and 10 for Morningside.
I said this last week, but I really like him. I think he's going to be a good football player. He caught the ball with his hands right there, got vertical, and then became physical.
6'2", 215-pound freshman out of St. Ansgar. Here's a handoff out of the gun. Sims breaks free up the middle. 40, 35-30, 25-20. Inside the hashes. Down inside the red zone to the 19. A great carry for Anthony Sims. And it's 1st and 10 for Morningside into the red zone. 29 yards on that pickup by Sims. Gives Morningside a chance inside the red zone. 13:25 left in the first half. Baker 14, Morningside 9. Here's Dalenchek in the gun. Trips receivers to his left and 1 to his right. Tuifua motions to the tight end spot on the right side. Dalenchek gives it to Sims up the middle, dancing his way, can't find anything. He gets back to the line of scrimmage and is driven back by 3 Baker Wildcats. Sam Squarlow, Mitchell Henry on the stop, and it's 2nd and 10.
See, that little motion right there, you know, some people might say that's not much, it didn't do anything. Yes, it did. It got their Sam linebacker, number 14, totally out of position. And that's the stuff I really look for Morningside doing. Here they're doing it again right here.
2nd down, they did give him a yard at the 18. 2nd and 9, play action to Sims. Dalenchek fires, and that one slipped out of his hands. Juergensmeyer had a shot at that in the end zone as he was falling backwards at the goal line. Couldn't haul it in, laying down, and it's 3rd and 9. Boy, was that one deflected, or did that just slip out of Joe's hands, Bob?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I've seen running plays that didn't have that much contact. There's a ton of contact down there.
And somehow Reed had a shot at hauling that in at the goal line. Couldn't. That would have been tough. It's 3rd and 9 here for Morningside to the Baker 18. Dalenchek, 2 receivers on either side of him. Takes the chest-high snap, 3-step drop, fires right seam, overthrows Austin Johnson again. Incomplete. Dalenchek throws his hands up, little bit of confusion there. It's 4th and 9, and here comes Chase Carter out for another field goal.
There was confusion, but I really think what happened is Baker did a really good job of rerouting the Morningside receivers. I was watching Reed Jurgesmeyer, and the linebacker just literally rerouted him, meaning he hit him and knocked him off course.
This will be a 35-yarder for Chase Carter, just inside the right hash. Caden Ladwig on to hold. The last field goal attempt got blown up. Here's the 35-yarder. It's tailing left and is no good. Chase Carter misses a 35-yarder inside the right hash. He's 1 for 4 on field goals this season. And Baker has held Morningside scoreless once again. And the Wildcats take over 1st and 10. They'll have it at their own 18. Well,
you should get it to 20.
Actually, the 20, yeah. Yeah, looks like they'll spot it at the 20 here. So 1st and 10 for Baker there. With 12:28 left in the half, 14-9 Wildcats on the People's Bank scoreboard. Aganyaga leads that Baker offense out there after scoring a touchdown on their last drive. Here's Aganyaga, delayed handoff, left side. Woods has a little bit of a hole up the left seam, but then gets brought down to the 23-yard line. Gain of 3, and it's 2nd down and 7 for Baker. J.D. Woods so far now with 11 carries, 32 yards on the ground, averaging just under 3 yards a carry. So Baker's trying to go to him, Bob, but Morningside at least holding him to only 3 yards a carry so far.
Well, like right now, watch Morningside's corners. You see how down here at least Jones is getting in the face of the receiver. Baker can't let that guy take one receiver away.
Aganyaga botches the snap. It's a broken play, and the Mustangs sack him. Zach Keller gets back there, so does Logan Schulke and a couple of others. It's a loss of about 5, and it'll be 3rd down and 12 for Baker at their own 18.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. They were going to throw the fade to the wide side of the field there, and I mean it's the same coverage at the top. And you, from an offensive standpoint, you cannot let the defense take away a receiver with one guy. And if that means you got to throw fades, then you got to throw a fade once in a while just to keep them honest and maybe get them out of that coverage. Because if they can do that, they can get those safeties up and involved in the run game. And
3rd and 12 here for Baker at their own 18. Aganyaga in the gun. 2 to his right, 1 to his left. Takes a chest-high snap. 3-step drop. Steps up in a collapsing pocket. Dumps it off A.J. Tada outside the left seam. He picks up 5 yards as Wingert and Schultz bring him down. Gain of 5. It is 4th and 7, and here comes Canyon Sanders and the punting unit.
Yeah, that's a really good job by the Morningside defense to hold their ground there and get the ball back right away after the missed field goal.
Baker 14, Morningside 9 on the People's Bank scoreboard. The Wildcats, the number 7 rated team in the country. Morningside, the unanimous number 1 team in the country. And with 10:30 left to play in the half, Sanders takes the snap. This time gets the punt away, sends a high, awkward, spiraling kick. Schwagert runs up at it and returns it outside right numbers 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, and brought down just outside of the red zone of the 21-yard line. Caleb Schwagert with a 30-plus yard punt return gives Morningside 1st and 10 near the red zone.
Yeah, Caleb caught that ball with a full head of speed going, and that takes some guts to do that. But boy, if you can do it, you're catching the ball at full speed, and the punt team, 3 or 4 guys going to run right past you at that point.
Coaches probably won't recommend their punt returners do that, but it worked for Schwagert. He was lined up way too deep for that kick, and
I guarantee you who won't recommend it is their mothers.
Right. 1st and 10 for Morningside. Baker 20. Dolencheck play action. Fires over the right seam. It's picked off. It is Sam Squarlow taken outside right numbers 20, 25, 30. Chased down from behind and knocked out of bounds at the 40-yard line by Jason Hallbeck. Joe Dolencheck throws an interception. Sam Squarlow's first pick of the season. And Baker has 1st and 10 right about at their own 40.
Well, Squarlow's that Sam linebacker we're talking about, the guy that the motions and shifts get him out of position. But did you see the drop he got? He was 15 yards into his drop, and that's amazing by a linebacker.
Only Joe Dolencheck's 7th interception of the 2020 football season.
And That's why he's got 8 interceptions. That's a heck of a drop, and you can tell he can run, like Coach Ryan said.
Yeah, that linebacking core, all 3 of them for Baker now have combined for 8 interceptions this season. 1st and 10 of the 38, under center. Aganyaga, play action, fires right side. That one's picked off. Jamal Jones, far sideline, gets run out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Anything you can do, we can do better. Morningside has 1st and 10 of the Baker 39.
Well, that's that comeback route we talked about earlier, and the difference on that play is that the receiver, whoever it was, never threatened deep and never threatened vertically, and if you don't get the corner turn, he's going to jump the comeback route just like Evans did there.
Jamal Jones with
Jones,
Jones's 3rd interception of the season after missing a good chunk of the 2020 regular season with injuries. Aganyaga throws only his 7th interception of the season. Now Dalenchek back out there. Play action to Sims, fires right side. Oh, and Juergensmeyer gets lit up on the play by Bryson Briggs as he was coming over the middle. Incomplete. Juergensmeyer got his hand on it, but the hit jars it loose at 2nd and 10.
That's why in high school football I don't like to run slants to 2 high safeties because you're running the slant right into the safety, and right there Reed paid the price of that.
9:53 left in the half. 14-9 Baker on the People's Bank scoreboard. Johnson goes in motion left to right. Dalenchek turns and gives it to Sims. Right side, follows blockers up to the 35-yard line where he is brought down. Gain of 4 for Sims. And now it's 3rd and 6 for Morningside of the Baker 35.
I guess I don't understand that spot. Didn't it look like he fell forward to about the 34-yard line?
It looked like it. I guess maybe his knee was down there. I'm not sure.
Looked like he was laying on top of a defender.
But regardless, is that the 35? Dalenchek with an empty backfield. He's got 4 receivers out there, including Anthony Sims.
It's going to be a screen over there.
3rd and 6. Dalenchek tries to get Baker to jump. Now drops back to throw. Amidst the confusion, fires over the left seam. Johnson makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 15 to the 24. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs.
Well, they definitely bubbled one of the receivers over there, and that opened up the inside route.
Beg your pardon, gain of 11 for Morningside. Either way, it's a 1st down with 9 minutes left in the half. A 5-point Baker lead, 14-9 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Dalenchek in the pistol, has 2 to his right, twin tight ends to the left side as well. Now they motion 1 to the right side. Dalenchek turns to his right, gives it to Sims, has blockers up ahead across the 20 down to the 18-yard line. 6-yard carry for Sims at 2nd and 4.
Yeah, that's an excellent 1st down play right there. When you can run the ball and get 6 yards on 1st down, you got an advantage.
Here's the snap to Dalenchek. Screenplay right side. Zach Norton has a block outside the right numbers. Lost the football, and Baker's on it at the 14. Norton got his bell rung, and Baker has turned over Morningside again and will have 1st and 10 at their own 14. Well, once they knife through that pile, they'll figure out who ended up with it, but Baker got it. Juergensmeyer's just fighting for it down there. It is Baker football. Looked like it was John Skyer there on the recovery for the Wildcats. And my goodness, 1st and 10 at their own 14 for Baker. They've turned Morningside over again.
Just that hash screen that Morningside's ran a million times, and that time the defender came up and put the wood to the receiver and forced him to fumble.
8:22 left here in the half. Screenplay right side. Pauly down the far sideline as one man to beat. Cuts it back inside and is across the 40 to the 42-yard line. It's a 28-yard gain for Nate Pauly on the screen. 1st and 10 for Baker at their own 42.
You think the bubble screen is a big part of the Baker offense?
Tell me about it, Bob.
That's the 5th time they've ran it.
Now we understand the mystery. That's why Nate Pauly has 32 receptions coming into this ball game. He's a danger out there in the screen.
Yes, he is. He I almost said a bad word. He's pretty good in the open field.
I appreciate the censorship. Believe me. Here's 1st and 10, 42-yard line. Aganyaga play action as an open man downfield to the 30, 25. Tywan Lewis to the 10. Needs to beat him to the pylon. And he is in for a Baker touchdown. Tywan Lewis with the reception, 58 yards downfield. beats Jones to the near pylon, and it is 20-9. Baker is up by 2 scores on the People's Bank scoreboard.
And that's the disadvantage of getting your safety so active in the run game. And on first down, they play action, the safeties bite, and here comes the post right over the top. I saw it right away, and Baker's able to do something that Carroll couldn't do last week.
Devin DeRoos, point after try, is up and good. What a statement. Baker leads Morningside 21-9 here on the People's Bank scoreboard. 7:46 left before halftime. The Mustangs will get the football when we return to Olsen Stadium in 30 seconds. You're listening to Mustang Football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back to Elwood Olsen Stadium. Daniel Versteg, former East High head football coach Bob Goodman up in the booth. We'll check in with Nathan Hoagland here after this kickoff. 7:46 left to play before halftime. Baker, number 7 in the country, leads Morningside 21-9 here on the People's Bank scoreboard. It's a 58-yard touchdown pass from Marco Aguinyaga to Taiwan Lewis. Lewis now 2 catches, 63 yards, and a touchdown. Now here's the kickoff sent deep into the air, and it is returned to the 3-yard line by Jake Knott. Taking up the left numbers 20, 25, and run down at the 28-yard line. On the stop there, Deshaun Lewis, and it's 1st and 10. We've got a flag, though, that comes out after the play.
Well, it's a really late flag, too. And
it is a late flag.
You almost have to think it's some type of personal foul.
Well, while they decipher the flag, let's check in with Nathan Hoagland, who's down on the sideline for us. Nathan, what's the feeling down there after Baker goes up by 2 scores?
Yeah, the coaches are just telling everyone, take a breath, relax, don't play so uptight. We've got a chance.
Well, absolutely. Thank you very much.
It's
blocking the back on the Mustangs. Thank you very much, Nathan, for that update down there. Morningside trying to keep calm and cool and collected. Still a lot of football left to be played here with 7:41 before halftime. Unfortunately, that block in the back sets up Morningside inside their own 20 at their own 18. So after scoring on their first play of offense of this ball game, Morningside has not gotten in the end zone since. Juergensmeyer motions to the left side to make twins. Handoff up the middle to Sims out of the gun. Takes it up the left seam. Stood up, and forward progress is ruled down there at the 21. Gain of 3, and it's 2nd and 7.
Well, Morningside just needs to take a breath on offense. I mean, they're moving the ball. I mean, they're just kind of their own worst enemy right now.
So it is 2nd down and 7. 7:15 to play in the half. Dolencheck in the gun. 2 receivers to his right. Motions a receiver to the right to make trips out there. There's a screen pass. Schwagert has some blocking. Outside the right numbers, 25-30. Shoved out of bounds for 1st down yardage at the 30-yard line. Gain of 9 for Schwagert, and it's 1st and 10. Looks like it was Will Cox, Grant Elston on the stop out there. 1st and 10.
Well, that's just a bubble screen that they run orbit motion to throw, and they just got numbers on them at that point.
Dolencheck in the gun. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Takes the snap. Play action to Sims. Pump fakes. Looks deep over the left seam. Juergensmeyer being held. There was a jersey tug. And there's the official throwing the flag. Thank goodness the near judge called it. When those 2 over there couldn't see it, jersey tug gives Morningside a 1st and 10. Our side judge down here was the one that threw the flag. He was the farthest away from it downfield.
Yeah,
I guess he had the angle on the jersey tug. So
I wouldn't be so sure they're going to call a jersey tug.
Well, looked like it.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, but that doesn't mean they're going to call it.
No, this is true. We'll see what this call is.
See, I think they're going to get him for pushing off.
Oh, they are going to.
No, they're just going to wave it off.
There's no flag on the play, so it'll be 2nd down and 10. That pass will fall incomplete. Morningside fans giving them the business. Baker fans all right with that call. It ends up being 2nd and 10 at the Morningside 30. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right of Dalenchek in the gun. He takes a chest-high snap, turns, gives it left side, off tackle Sims, 35, brought down from behind at the 36-yard line. Squarlow makes the stop again, and it is 3rd down and 4 for the Mustangs.
What a good tackle by Squarlow there, or else I think Sims is going to pick up another 10 yards.
Squarlow, that's why he leads the team in tackles with 83 coming into this ballgame, over 10 a game. Here is 3rd down and 4 at the Morningside 36. Left hash mark. Dalenchek in the gun, 2 to his right. Drops back to throw. Looks over the middle. Jurgensmeyer makes the catch across the 45 and is wrestled down at the 47-yard line by B.J. Harvey, and it is 1st down for the Mustangs.
I don't know this for sure, but I'm going to guess that was one of the few times that Baker had brought a linebacker in a blitz. And what you saw there is the vacated zone, and that's exactly where they hit it.
Dalenchek, 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left in the gun. They give it up the middle to Sims. He bounces right side and is brought down for a 2-yard gain to the 49-yard line. Just shy of midfield, and it'll be 2nd down and 8 for Morningside. 5:37 left to play here in the first half. 21-9. Baker leads Morningside on the People's Bank scoreboard. The number 7 rated Wildcats. 2nd and 8. Dalenchek gives it up the middle. Sims, he gets across midfield to the Baker 49. That's only a gain of 2, and it's 3rd and 6. At halftime, we'll run down stats of this ball game and also get you updated on scores from around the country, see how the other quarterfinal games are doing. It's coming up here with 5 minutes left in the second quarter. 3rd down and 6 for the Mustangs at the Baker 49-yard line. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right of Joe Dalenchek in the gun. Sims to his right-hand side.
You got cover 1 all across the board here.
Dalenchek, 3-step drop, looks right sideline, throws to Johnson. Pass is
Should be
incomplete. Yep. And it was just a straight incompletion. Lots of shoving down there. The incompletion makes it 4th and 6.
Yeah, as soon as Baker walked their Sam linebacker, who they actually call the Will linebacker,
right?
But in 4-2-5 terms, they call him Sam. But as soon as they walked him in the box, you knew it was cover 1. The one high safety was back at about 20 yards, playing the entire field deep.
So Colton Earlbeck out to punt this one away. Back deep to return is Jordan Green for Baker. Earlbeck to kick this one away. Green standing inside his own 10. Earlbeck sends a high spiraling kick. Green waves for a fair catch. It dies inside the 10. What a punt by Earlbeck. It bounced at the 6, took a backwards roll to the 8, and Baker has 1st and 10 inside their own 10-yard line.
You know, Daniel, everybody on that play did everything right.
Mm-hmm.
The return guy didn't catch it because you're not supposed to catch a ball inside the 10.
Right.
And the punter
dropped it in there.
Yep, it looked like one of your pitching wedge shots from about 80 yards. It backed up.
Boy, I wish, Bob. I really wish I could do that with a golf club. Do want to remind you that you're listening to Mustang Football here on the voice of Morningside Athletics, Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS Sioux City. 4:36 left to play here in the first half. 1st and 10 for Baker at their own 8. It's 21-9. Baker leads Morningside on the People's Bank scoreboard. Aganyaga, 2 to his right, 1 to his left. No drop out of the gun. Fires over the middle. Pass is caught at the 13-yard line. It is Brennan Feeback who makes the catch. And it's now 2nd down and 4. They ruled him down at the 14 instead.
I'll tell you what. Aganyaga is as good a quarterback as we've seen against Morningside for a couple years now.
Right.
I'm very impressed with him. His ability to throw the football in the pocket is awesome. And
I guess he's one of the better non-mobile quarterbacks that we've seen, because we've seen Clayberg and Koima, obviously, but
yeah, I meant just strictly
pocket quarterback,
football,
right? 2nd down and 6 at the 14. Aganyaga drops back, takes pressure, fires it over the middle, and it ends up going through the hands of J.D. Woods. Nicholas Gustav hit Aganyaga in the backfield as he was throwing. The incompletion makes it 3rd and 4.
That's about 6 inches away from being a touchdown because they slipped Woods out of the backfield and got him down the middle of the field somehow, and he was open. And Aganyaga, as soon as I brag him up about throwing the ball so well, he missed him by about a foot is all, though.
So 3:51 left in the half. 21-9 Baker on the People's Bank scoreboard. The Wildcats have been solid on third down. They're 3 for 6 here today. Aganyaga empties the backfield. 3 receivers to his left and 2 to his right. He takes a bell-high snap. 3-step drop. Steps up in the pocket. Has to run with it. Up the right seam. 15, 20, and is slid down at the 23-yard line. Gain of 9 for Aganyaga. And it's first down. Baker bails themselves out once again.
That's a huge first down in the game, and a great decision by Aganyaga there. But by getting the first down, you keep the ball out of Morningside's hands because with 3.5 minutes to go in the half, they could have went down and scored and then get the opening kickoff of the second half.
Right.
So that's a huge play for Baker.
Yeah, if Morningside can get a stop here, get the ball back, a quick score. They do get the ball back at the start of the second half. That is a good point here. Down by 12 are the Mustangs. First and 10 at the Baker 23. Aganyaga gives it left side. This is Jordan Green at the 24. He's wrapped up and brought down by 3 Mustangs. Keller, Portis, and looked like Wingard on the stop. Gain of 1 for Jordan Green, and it's 2nd and 9. 3 minutes before halftime. 21-9. Baker leads Morningside here on the People's Bank scoreboard.
If I was Baker, I'd be in no hurry to snap this ball.
No, not at all.
And I wouldn't be surprised if after the play, if the clock's still running, that Morningside doesn't use the timeout.
Second down and 9. Baker 24. Aganyaga takes the play clock down to 6. 5, 2.5 to play in the half. He snaps it with 3. Play action, steps up, drops back, dumps a screen pass left side. Green makes the catch across the 25 and is run out of bounds by Joshua Miller at the 29-yard line. Clock keeps moving, though, and it is 3rd down and 4 for Baker. Morningside does not use a timeout here with 2:15 left in the half. So 3rd and 4. Baker's been really solid on 3rd down here today, Bob.
Yes, they have, and again, if I was Baker, I wouldn't be in a big hurry to snap the ball. I'd run this thing down to 5 seconds on the play clock, if not less.
Yeah, if they do that, it'll be 1:45-ish on the game clock. 3rd and 4, Baker 29, 2 to the right of Aganyaga. Gives it to Woods, up the middle. He's got a first down to the 34. J.D. Woods picks up 5, and it's 1st and 10 for Baker. And the clock continues to run with 1:40 left before halftime. 21-9. Baker has stunned Morningside here in the first half on the People's Bank scoreboard.
I'd take a shot downfield right now. I'd run a little play-action pass.
Aganyaga under center, single back, 2 to his right. Takes the snap. He gives it to Woods, right side, and he stood up for no gain. Loss of 1. Morningside does not use a timeout again. It'll be 2nd and 11 with 1:10 left before halftime.
Yeah, I think at this point both teams are going to be happy to go in the locker room.
21-9 Baker. Yeah, Baker's not going to take a shot here. They're just going to they're going to take a 12-point lead into the locker room, something that not a lot of teams can say against Morningside. 2nd and 11. Baker 33. 50 seconds left before halftime.
Here comes outside zone our way.
2 receivers on either end of Aganyaga in the gun. He takes a bell-high snap, fires toward the far side, pass is caught. Out there, that catch is made by Zeke Henson at the 40-yard line. Gain of 7, and it is 3rd down and 4 as he gets out of bounds. Clock stops with 41 left.
That's a pretty impressive throw right there. I mean, he's throwing a 7-yard, 8-yard out from the middle of the field, and then the trajectory of that ball was coming downhill, so that shows you the strength of his arm.
21-9. Baker leads Morningside on the People's Bank scoreboard. 41 seconds left before halftime. 3rd and 4 for the Wildcats at their own 40. 2 to the left, 1 to the right of Aganyaga. Chest-high snap, drops back. He evades a sack, steps up in the pocket, keeps it himself. He's got the first down across the 40, across midfield, and down in Morningside territory at the 46. It's a 14-yard keeper by Aganyaga, and it's first down for Baker.
Now you should show a little urgency here and get on the ball. And
yeah. Clock's
There you
moving.
go. There you go.
25 seconds left. Here come the Wildcats to the line of scrimmage. Aganyaga spikes it with 21 seconds left before halftime. Second down upcoming. Well, 21 seconds left. This part of the field, Bob, I guess, what's Baker's play call here? What are they going to try and do here?
Well, the first thing is I was watching the field goal kicker in warm-ups and kicking against the wind.
Right.
He was kicking the ball 45 yards. And so, I would say – or
so they might be just shooting for a field goal here.
Yeah,
right.
That's what I'd be thinking right now.
Second down and 10, Morningside 46. Aganyaga, empty backfield, 3 to his left, 2 to his right. Drops back to throw, 4-man rush, steps up, fires toward the right sideline. Pass interference is coming out on the incompletion overthrown of J.D. Woods. Jamal Jones all over him. And if this is on the Mustangs, this will get Baker much closer to field goal territory.
Yeah, now all you need is a 5-10 yards to be in field goal range.
So for you obviously watched DeRoos in warm-ups. Statistically, he has made one from 49 this year and has also attempted one from 53 that he missed.
And right now, if you look at the flag, the wind is definitely blowing right to left. So it's blowing almost directly out of the west right now looking at that flag. So that means the wind is going to be at the kicker's back. So.
And right now, if they were to attempt a kick, it would be from 48 yards out, just inside a kick that he has made this season. He's 9 for 14 on field goals. 15 seconds left before halftime. 1st and 10 at the Morningside 31. Aganyaga drops back to throw. He's blitzed. He steps up and is sacked at the 38. Tyler Wingert and Nicholas Gustav bring him down. And a timeout, I believe, is called by Baker.
Well, that leaves them with one timeout left, but the problem is there's only 9 seconds to go. So they're on the 36-yard line. So, I mean, you got to pick up 5 to 10 yards to be in legitimate field goal range. So they do have a timeout left, and that does help the cause. But that's a big play for the Morningside defense. That
is. Second down and 15 here. 9 seconds left before halftime. 21-9. Baker leads Morningside here on the People's Bank scoreboard. We'll preview what's coming up at halftime. We're going to chat with, we're going to chat about this contest. Nathan will get some thoughts from Coach Ryan to report on at halftime. And we'll also get some scores from around the country in the postseason. Quarterfinal actions going on around the country. We're going to have some pretty late scores for some of those. Heck, might even have a final from one of those contests. That is coming up here on our halftime coverage.
You think about this upcoming play. If you're Morningside, you're thinking they're going to try to get in field goal range, so they're going to throw something in the quick game category. But what a perfect time right now to run a little double route and see if you can get a defender to bite and go deep.
So it's 2nd and 15. Baker has it at the Morningside 36, just outside of makeable field goal range for their kicker. 9 seconds. Knee-high snap. 3-step drop for Aganyaga. Has some time. Now rolls out right. Gustav chasing him. He evades that sack. Fires toward the sideline, overthrows, and the clock is at 000. Oh, he wasted enough time rolling out to the right, and that is halftime. Our score, number 7 rated Baker, 21. Number 1 rated Morningside, 9 here on the People's Bank scoreboard. It's halftime. We'll get you stats from this contest and some scores from around the country as well. And we'll also get a report from Nathan during halftime as well. He'll chat with Coach Ryan and report on that for you. We'll take a break. We'll be back in 4 minutes to Elwood Olson Stadium. You are listening to Mustang Football here on the Voice of Morningside Athletics, Fox Sports Radio 620, KMNS, Sioux City. And welcome back to Elwood Olson Stadium here on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS. Daniel Versteg, Bob Goodvin up in the booth, Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline as well. It is halftime, and for the first time since the semifinals of 2019, Morningside trails at halftime, 21-9 to Baker on the People's Bank scoreboard. This is one of the largest halftime deficits in a long time. That semifinal game was only a 6-point halftime deficit. But Baker leads them by 12 here heading into the locker room on our People's Bank scoreboard. Well, let's see what's all happened here in this one. We start with Morningside, who right now has 137 yards of total offense. Seems a little messed up here, but we'll give you some of the individual numbers here for now. Anthony Sims has 14 carries, 69 yards on the ground. It's showing minus 27 overall. I don't think that's right. I'm trying to remember. I don't think there was a big enough loss on a play. But Anthony Sims leading the way on the ground, 14 carries, 69 yards. Joe Dolenchek is 11 for 22 with an interception, 164 yards, and that 60-yard touchdown pass to Austin Johnson. Austin total has 3 catches, 83 yards, and a touchdown reception. Reed Juergensmeyer, 5 catches, 52. Jack Sievert, Caleb Schwagert, and Zach Norton have each hauled in a pass as well. For Baker on the ground, J.D. Woods has 13 carries, 31 yards. Right now it is showing 242 yards of total offense for the Baker Wildcats. Marco Aguinaldo is having one heck of a first half. He's 15 for 21 with an interception, 210 passing yards, and 2 passing touchdowns. He is averaging 10 yards per pass total, completed or incomplete. Nate Pauley leads the way receiving, 5 catches, 63 yards. Tywan Lewis has 2 catches, 63 yards, and a 58-yard receiving touchdown. And the other reception, Sam Huckabee, has a catch for 23 yards and a touchdown. Actually, 3 catches, 46 yards, and a touchdown for Sam Huckabee. Brennan Feeback has 2 catches, 13 yards as well. Zeke Henson, A.J. Tata, and Jordan Green have each hauled in receptions. Right now it's showing Baker 16 minutes time of possession, Morningside 12 and a half minutes. And the Mustangs 2 sacks. They have picked off Aguinaldo once. That's the only turnover for Baker in this one. Morningside has turned the ball over twice, 1 fumble and an interception. Morningside is 5 for 9 on third downs, 0 for 2 on fourth downs. Baker 5 for 8 on third downs. They have not attempted a fourth down try, having to punt on their other fourth downs. So, well, all that equals 21-9 with Baker out in front. Not only is Baker ahead by 2 scores, Bob, they held Morningside scoreless in the second quarter, and that is not something a lot of teams can say. From your perspective, what has Baker done to keep Morningside off the scoreboard here?
Well, I really think the Baker defense has done an awesome job because Morningside's got roughly 200 yards of total offense.
Sure.
And you think about it, probably 100 of them came on 3 plays. You got the 60-yard first play of the game, and then
Anthony Sims had a big carry.
Yep. Sims got a couple long carries,
Sure.
and so that's probably half their yards right there in 3 plays. So I think their defense has got a good game plan together, and I think they're playing very well. Now, at the same time, if you're Morningside's offense, you're sitting here saying, well, we're kind of our own worst enemy.
Right.
We can't get out of our own way. We have a couple fumbles, 2 inside the red zone. Both turnovers are inside the red zone, aren't
Right. I think so, yeah.
So, in theory, that's two scores. You got the botch field goal, whether it was a bad snap
fake
or a fake,
yeah,
whatever.
right.
And then you got the missed field goal. And so Morningside's got,
and then you have a turnover on downs as well,
Yes.
just a straight turnover
yes,
on downs.
Yep.
So
I don't mean this in a negative way, but Morningside's kind of their own worst enemy right now. They can't
Right.
get out of their own way. So if they just solve their miscues like that, I mean, they're okay.
Right. Yeah, well, but this is just not what we're used to seeing from Morningside, Bob. We're not used to seeing them fail a 4th down and 1 conversion attempt. We're not used to seeing them fumble inside the red zone, throw interceptions in the red zone. This is very uncharacteristic. This is probably what most people would have expected in the first game, all of these miscues. Instead, now they're happening with a playoff game under their belt.
Well, instead of putting all the blame on offense or on Morningside, maybe you got to give credit to Baker.
Right,
I
exactly.
mean, we live in a world where we don't give enough credit to other people. And, like I said, Baker's defense is playing very well.
Mm-hmm.
With the exception of a couple long runs, they've stopped the running game. And, they've seemed to have sewed up their coverage mistakes. And, early on I told you that Morningside's receivers were running wide open. And,
right.
And what I've noticed in the second quarter is they've done a little better job of rerouting guys. They're getting more physical with them and knocking them off their routes, and that jacks up the timing of the play. So,
on the defensive end for Morningside, I guess the $1 million question probably is what kind of adjustments do they need to make, because like I mentioned, Marco Aguinaga is dicing them up through the air right now, completing over almost 70% of his passes, over 200 yards, and he has a couple of passing touchdowns. He's throwing this ball better than any quarterback that has competed against Morningside in a couple of years.
Well, he's also throwing the ball better than Morningside probably anticipated.
Right.
And
well, because all the focus was on J.D. Woods.
Right. That's exactly what I was going to say. Is they've got to focus on Woods. They've got to stop the run, because that's what they want to do. And I'm sure they just said let's not let Woods beat us, and let's make Aguinaga beat us. And so far Aguinaga's been beating them. So.
Absolutely. Well, he's having a career game. Aguinaga comes into this one averaging 184 passing yards a game, and he already has 210, and now he has 11 total touchdown passes on the season. Yeah, he's got 2 today plus the 9, so that's 11 total touchdown passes here in the regular season for Marco Aguinaga, and all of it means Baker leads Morningside 21-9 on the People's Bank scoreboard. But it is halftime. That's a good chunk of the game gone. But Bob, we've seen Morningside be down, and if you remember that Grandview game, they were down by a touchdown heading into the locker room, and then what they do, they scored 2 touchdowns in the third quarter. So the nice thing is, if you're a Morningside fan listening to this one and freaking out, which I know there might be a couple, they know how to make the adjustments. They know what they need to do differently in the second half.
Well, like I said, if you're an offensive coach for Morningside, you're saying just calm down.
Right.
Let's just stop being our own worst enemy, and let's just execute. Let's do what we've been doing for 10 years, and we'll be okay. I'm sure they're down in the locker room right now saying, hey, listen, we're going to get the ball back. We're going to go down and score. It's going to be a one-possession game, and then momentum's going to be on our side.
Right, yeah. Morningside does get the kickoff here to start the second half. 21-9 Baker leads. Let's bring in the third member of our crew, Nathan Hoagland, who's down on the sideline for us. Nathan, you had the opportunity to at least catch up with Coach Ryan a little bit before he went into the locker room. What kind of things did he say to you? What is his squad looking to do differently here?
Yeah, everything you guys have kind of said is what he told me. They missed some opportunities. He mentioned the turnovers and the, miscues with the field goal unit so far. And he said there's a lot of game left. We just need to settle down and do what we have to do. There's no secret about what we need to do. It just has to happen.
What was the down there heading into the locker room? What was kind of the feeling of the players being down by 12 touchdowns? What kind of mood did you get down there?
They're not down by 12 touchdowns.
Or 12 points, right? 12 points.
Something happened.
That would have been really bad. 12 points. Sorry,
I'm just joking.
Two scores. Thanks for catching that, though.
It was. I don't want to say melancholic, but there's definitely some people holding their breath. I mean, if you think about it, there's half to 3/4 of this team has never been in this spot before.
Right. Yeah, it's a very rare time when Morningside's down. Thank you very much, Nathan. I mean, you just look at losses. Okay, you look at losses. This senior class has only had one loss back in 2017. That loss in the semifinals to St. Francis. That's it. And you take a look at the juniors; they've never lost. I mean, that's one of the tough things is Morningside. is not always privy to playing from behind. And, well, they're going to be tested here with Baker leading 21-9 over Morningside. Let's get a quick break on our halftime coverage. We'll come back, and we'll take a look at some scores from around the country. 3 other quarterfinal games going on. In fact, we do have a final. So we've got one team into the semifinals. We'll run down those scores for you coming up in 1 minute. You're listening to Mustang Football here at halftime on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. And welcome back to Elwood Olson Stadium for our halftime coverage. Daniel Versteg, former East High head football coach Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland also joining us down on the sideline. Halftime here, Baker leads Morningside 21-9 on the People's Bank scoreboard. This is just one of 3 quarterfinal games going on around the country to determine who makes it to next Saturday's semifinal contest. Let's take a look at the other scores. We do have a final. In Florida, Kaiser defeated Reinhardt 42-14 here on the People's Bank scoreboard. So Kaiser is on to its first semifinals in program history. Got a blowout score in Kentucky. Lindsey Wilson dominating Concordia 35-7. That's 2:29 left in the third. Lindsey Wilson might be locked up to their next spot in the NAIA semifinals. And another stunner, the GPAC might have a team make the semifinals, even if it's not Morningside. Looking right now, 7:17 to play in regulation. Northwestern leads Grandview 24-17 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Northwestern has scored 17 second-half points. Grandview 3. Tyson Koima is 21 of 30 with an interception, 291 yards, 2 passing touchdowns. Also 8 rushing yards. Shane Solberg, 11 catches, 188 yards, and a receiving touchdown. That is typical Shane Solberg. Cade Mosier has 6 catches, 51 yards, and a touchdown. Grandview 4 for 13 on third down tries. Only 145 yards of total offense. Northwestern 369. Each team penalized 4 times. And let's see, 1 turnover in this ball game, and it comes Grandview picked off Koima. That's the only turnover in that ball game. So Northwestern leads Grandview 24-17. Now with 6:25 left in the ball game of that contest. So things are getting interesting in the NAIA quarterfinals. Morningside trailing Baker here. Northwestern leading. Lindsey Wilson leading big. And Kaiser already on to the semifinals in the NAIA. Let's get one more break in. We'll come back. Second half action comes up when we return. Baker leading Morningside 21-9. We're back in 2 minutes to Olson Stadium. You're listening to Mustang Football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back to Elwood Olson Stadium here on the campus of Morningside College. Daniel Versteg, former East High head football coach Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline. Baker, number 7 rated in the country, leads number 1 rated Morningside, 21-9 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Coming up for you here on KMNS later on tonight, we'll have Musketeer hockey as they host the Fargo Force. 6:45 pregame, 7:05 puck drop of that contest. And we'll have Bandit indoor football over on KWSL. Kicking off at 6:30, Bandits unbeaten, taking on unbeaten Salina. We'll have pregame coverage at 6:15, and then we'll send you off to Salina at 6:30 for kickoff on KWSL. That's 1470, 98.7. We're ready to start second half of action. Thanks for tuning in, and it could be a fun second half here as Devin DeRoos sends a high end-over-end right-footed kick, fielded at the 5, inside left numbers by Jake Knott. Taken up to the 20, 25, and tripped up just before the 30-yard line at the 28. It'll give Morningside 1st and 10 right there as they start this second half. So, all right, here, you talked about Morningside calming down a little bit. What do you look to see out of the Mustangs here early to start the second half, Bob?
Well, I would try to get Dolencheck into a good rhythm, and they're going to start out in an empty set right now, which usually means some type of quick game stuff.
3 receivers to the right. Dolencheck, 3-step drop out of the gun. Fires over the left seam. A nice extended grab by Austin Johnson across the 40 to the Morningside 41. Gain of 11 and a first down right away for the Mustangs.
Yeah, I definitely think Morningside not only can move the ball on them, but can throw the ball on them with great success. They've been able to do that at times, and I would think they'd continue to do that.
Dallin checking the gun, this time with Sims in the backfield. They give it to Sims, right side. He gets free across the 45, keeps moving across midfield and into Baker territory at the 47, and is 12 yards for Sims, and another first down for Morningside.
Yeah, that's an RPO right there, and he was reading the Sam linebacker, and the Sam linebacker was flying out on the slant route, so that's why he handed it off, and that's why they got 10 yards.
1st and 10, Baker 47. Dolencheck empties the backfield again. 3 receivers to the narrow side, left side of the field. 2 to the right. They motion Juergensmeyer right side to put 3 on that. 3-step drop, steps up, fires over the middle, and Johnson makes a great catch inside the 25, taken up the left seam and brought down in the red zone to the 16-yard line. Gain of 31 and another first down.
That's just reminiscent of the first quarter.
1st and 10, Baker 15. The Mustangs in the red zone, hoping to come up with points here. Dolencheck of the pistol, 2 to his right, 1 to his left. Takes a bell high snap, handoff right side Sims. Has some blockers, doesn't get very far, and is tripped up at the 12-yard line. Gain of 3 for Sims, and it's 2nd and 7.
That's a really good play by the middle linebacker, Henry, number 12. I mean, he scraped over the top, took on blockers, and made the tackle. So give credit to him there.
Yeah, Mitchell Henry, the junior out of Goff, Kansas. That entire linebacking core is so dangerous for Baker.
Well, like Coach Ryan said in the pregame show, you can see that they can run.
Right. Here's 2nd down and 7 to the Baker 12. 13-15 left in the third. Dolencheck in the gun. Drops back 3 steps to throw. Fires right side over through Austin Johnson in the end zone. Incomplete. It's 3rd and 7.
You know, that's about 2nd or 3rd time it looked like Joey can't grip the ball very well. And, that ball slipped and it sailed on him. And Austin was open running the skinny little poster out in the end zone.
Yeah, he got in between the secondary there and unfortunately just a little too airmail on that pass.
And Baker brought a blitz that time, and again, I don't know this for sure, but I don't think they blitzed a lot.
There's a handoff. Sims on 3rd and 7, gets across the 10, up the middle to the 5, and he has got the first down yardage. Gain of 7 for Sims, and it's 1st and goal for the Mustangs. So the 13 minutes left before the third quarter ends. Morningside down by 12, has 1st and goal at the Baker 5-yard line.
Did you happen to see on that play that Morningside slipped in?
Receiver who takes it up the left seam for a Mustang touchdown. Jack Sievert's 4th catch of his Morningside career puts Mustangs within 1 score of Baker, 21-15. Baker leads on the People's Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, they faked the jet sweep and had the fullback in the backfield and just slipped him in the flat. And Joey did a good job of avoiding a rusher and hitting him in the flat for a touchdown.
So 12:43 left to play in the third. 21-15 Baker. Here's the point after try by Chase Carter. It is up and good. 21-16. Baker leads by 5, but the Mustangs on their first drive take a little over 2 minutes of the clock and score. We'll take a break. Back in 30 to Olson Stadium. You're listening to Mustang Football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back to Olson Stadium here in Sioux City. Daniel Versteg, Bob Goodvin with you up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland joining us on the sideline. 12:43 left in the third quarter, and Morningside goes 7 plays, 70 yards in a little over 2 minutes and trails Baker by 5, 21-16. Here's a line drive, end-over-end kick that bounces off of Jordan Green inside the 5. He picks it up at the 3, takes it up the left seam, 10, 15, and didn't get to the 15-yard line. Matt Strucker makes the stop at the 14-yard line. And Baker does not have great field position. It'll be 1st and 10 there for the Wildcats.
Do you remember me saying that Morningside will get the ball, they'll go down and score and have momentum on their side? Do you kind of feel that right now?
I do, absolutely. It is definitely leaning that way now. A big stop here would definitely exacerbate that. It's 1st and 10 for Baker at their own 14-yard line. Wildcats up by 5. In the gun, Aganyaga gives it up to Woods. Up the middle, inside the left seam, and he gets 3 yards to the 17. That's about it. And it's 2nd down and 7 for Baker.
Well, I said this in the first half, but into the boundary, Morningside's playing man coverage, and they're taking away a receiver with one guy. And somewhere along the line, Baker's got to can't let that happen. And there they could have ran something quick because it was man coverage, but he was giving him a 7-yard cushion.
12:05 left in the third. 21-16 Baker. Under center. Single back of the backfield. Aganyaga. Pitch play. Right side. Woods doesn't get anything. Jalen Portis brings him down. No gain. And it is 3rd down and 7 for the Wildcats. And you can feel that crowd starting to get into it a little bit more, Bob.
And you can feel the momentum just slowly changing right here. And as dumb as it sounds early in the third quarter, this is kind of an important play because I don't think Baker wants to give the ball back to Morningside right away.
Nor a 3 and out. That never boosts morale for any team. Here's Baker in the gun with 11:25 left in the third quarter. 3rd down and 7 of the Baker 17. Aganyaga in the gun, 2 to his left, 1 to his right, takes a knee-high snap, drops back to throw, 6-man rush, fires right side, pass is caught at the 24 by Brennan Feeback,
oh boy.
And he's got enough for a 1st down to the 25. It's a gain of 8, and Baker moves the sticks once more.
Now, we're 60 yards away from the play.
Right.
I can't deny that, but that looked like a pretty generous spot to me.
Yeah, well, they gave him that extra yard, the yard they needed to convert their 6th 3rd down in 9 tries. 1st and 10 of the 25. Aganyaga under center, single back, 2 to his left. Takes the snap, handoff right side. Looks like Jordan Green on the carry. And whoever it is ends up getting nothing. It is Woods. But he maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. It's 2nd down and 10 for the Wildcats.
What you're starting to see right now is the Morningside defensive front coming into play. I mean, you saw Seth Maitland and Nick Gustav really making plays there. Gustav was in the backfield almost at the handoff.
10:18 left in the third. 21-16, Baker out in front on the People's Bank scoreboard. Aganyaga lines up under center on 2nd and 10 at his own 25. Single back, 2 to his left, and a timeout is called by the Wildcats. They were dangerously close to a delay of game, and the timeout gives them another try. With 10:04 left in the third, Baker 21, Morningside 16. We'll be back in 30 seconds to Olsen Stadium. You are listening to Mustang Football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. And we welcome you back to Elwood Olsen Stadium here in Sioux City on the campus of Morningside College. Daniel Versteg, former East High head football coach Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline. 10:04 left in the third. 21-16 Baker. 2nd down and 10 out of the Baker timeout. Here's an end around. Nate Pauley turns the corner. 30 outside the right numbers. Brought down from behind across the 35 to the 36. Tyler Wingard on the stop. But an 11-yard carry by Pauley brings up 1st and 10 for Baker.
Well, that's a good play call coming out of the timeout. The last thing you'd expect is some type of reverse play, but somebody got a really good kick-out block on the outside linebacker there that opened up the play. I couldn't tell who it was, but
so now under 10 minutes to play in the third. Baker, this is one of the problems now for Morningside. Baker knows how to eat up clock. Here's a delayed handoff. Jordan Green looks right up the middle. Flag on the play comes out as Green is brought down for a gain of 1 to the 37. It'll be 2nd and 9, but we've got a flag here to figure out.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be holding on number 34, the tight end. I mean, he literally tackled the guy. It looked to me like.
Yeah, it's odd when a holding call would come out from a lines judge, but it's blocking the back call.
Well, that explains the side judge call.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. So that is 15 yards, 10 yards, excuse me. So back to the 26-yard line goes Baker, and it'll be 1st and 20 for the Wildcats now.
Well, I guess he didn't tackle him, Daniel. I guess he just pushed him in the back.
He pushed him in the back.
Whatever. He got him on the ground. I
Right.
do know that.
That's probably what encouraged the call from our lines judge. So here's 1st and 20 for Baker at their own 26. Got to get close to midfield to convert the first. Here's Aganyaga in the gun. 2 to his left, 1 to his right. Takes a chest-high snap, 3-step drop, steps up in the pocket, fires right sideline, and it is wide of J.D. Woods, incomplete. Weston Schultz on the coverage. It's 2nd and 20.
You know, from a passing game standpoint, you don't want to throw out routes, and that's basically what that was an out route to the running back, and he stepped up in the pocket, thought about running, and then decided to throw it. You don't want to throw out routes late. There were a lot of people around that. Andy threw it a little bit behind him,
Right.
and you're asking for trouble there.
So 2nd down and 20. Baker 21, Morningside 16 on the People's Bank scoreboard. 9:07 left in the third. Here's Aganyaga, 2 to his left, takes a knee-high snap, out of the gun, steps up, gets hit as he throws, lobs it up, and it's picked off. Joshua Miller picks it off at the 30-yard line, gets brought down to the 25, and just like that, Morningside has 1st and 10 of the Baker 25.
Yeah, let's see. Morningside scored on the opening drive. They come out and get a turnover right away. Do you think momentum's wearing Morningside red right now?
Absolutely. You just had to wait for that defensive stop of any kind. Miller has his first interception of the season, would you believe it? And now Morningside has 1st and 10 of the Baker 25. 4 receivers line up to the right side of Dalenchek in the gun, 1 to his left. They motion Schwagert into the slot. Dalenchek drops back, fires a screen. Right side, Schwagert slips and gets brought down for a loss of 2. At the 26-yard line, B.J. Harvey finishes the job, and it's 2nd and 11.
You know, that's an odd formation the Morningside come out in with 4 wide receivers, but the way they had them lined up was what was really odd. And then they motioned Swagger back in, but all they did was run the hash screen that they've run a million times, but same play, different look.
3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Dalenchek with another empty backfield. Out of the gun. Drops back 1 step. And this is a quarterback keeper. He has some blockers up across the 25 and gets hit down to the 21-yard line. 5-yard carry by Joe Dalenchek, and it's 3rd down and 6.
That's something you don't see very often from
No
Morningside
kidding.
is a called quarterback run. And, you know, if you think about it, the only time they call quarterback runs is when they literally need them. And,
Right. Yeah, that one caught me off guard. I've never seen that. That's been a while. But now it's 3rd down and 6 here at the Baker 21. Dalenchek lines up in the gun. He's got 2 to his left, 1 to his right. Turns and gives it to Sims. Up the middle. He's across the 20 and is just shy of the 15, which he needed for the first. It's a 5-yard gain. It'll be 4th and inches. All right. Bob, they're keeping the offense out there.
No doubt. You definitely go for it.
With a missed field goal already in your back pocket and 1 botched. And unfortunately, the kicking game is not a strength right now.
And it would be about a 35, 36-yard
Right.
field goal into the wind.
4th down and 1. Dalenchek motions a receiver to the tight end spot. Drops back. Short pass over the middle is incomplete. It is wide of Reed Juergensmeyer and incomplete. The Wildcats shut down Morningside on 4th down for the 3rd time in this ball game. And Baker has 1st and 10 at their own 16.
That ball slipped on Joey again. You know, the ball sailed out of his hand. So there's times he doesn't get a good grip on the ball for whatever reason today. But, you know, you might be a little surprised by the play call being 4th and inches and they throw the slant. But I think it's out of respect for Baker's run defense.
Right. Those linebackers. And that slant usually works
Yep.
for Morningside, but evidently not today. So Baker retains the lead. Lead they've had for a quarter and a half. Here was 7:12 to play in the 3rd. Baker comes out in an I formation under center. Aganyaga hands it off up the middle. That is J.D. Woods powering his way across the 20 to the 21. A.J. Tata loses his helmet on the play. He'll have to exit for this one. 2nd down and 5 for Baker as they get out of their own red zone at the 21.
What's kind of impressive about Woods is not only his speed. That's obvious. You can see that, but he can drop his pads and get yards that aren't there. I
Right.
mean, he can run physically, and a lot of times fast guys don't do that very well.
6:52 to play in the 3rd. 2nd and 5 of the 21 for Baker. 2 receivers on either side. Aganyaga, high snap. It bounces right back to him, and he goes down inside the 10. That one almost sailed over the head of Aganyaga. He kept it close and then gets touched down at the 10. Loss of 11. And it is now 3rd down and 16 for Baker.
You know, in the first half, we said Morningside couldn't get out of their own way. Now, right now, Baker kind of can't get
Right.
out of their own way. That's almost 2 turnovers in the second half, a bad penalty that kind of stopped a little drive, and they're their own worst enemy right now, and this is a dangerous play.
It is, but we can't count Baker out on 3rd down. They're 6 for 9 converting these plays. 3rd and 16. Of course, they haven't had one this long.
Not 3rd and 16.
Right.
Yep.
The play clock is at 0. Baker was really confused, and a delay of game is called. The penalty this time called. Baker does not get a timeout in time. I think that's head coach Jason Thorin over there arguing with one of the umpires, saying that, well, he got the timeout in time, but he didn't. And so now it is much longer. 3rd and 21. Baker is at its own 5-yard line.
Well, I don't think you want a timeout in that situation because the timeout's more valuable than the
True.
5 yards. And
Yeah, Baker only has 2 left.
yes, and you don't want to waste 2 timeouts in the 3rd quarter, especially when it's 3rd and 16.
It's 21-16 Baker. 5:45 left. 3rd and 21 for Aganyaga and the Wildcats at his own 5. Drops back 1 yard into the end zone. Fires right side. Pass is caught to the 10, 15, and it's Sam
He
Huckabee down
fumbled.
at the 17.
Oh.
Morningside said he fumbled. They got it up, but they ruled him down by contact at the 17. So it is a gain of 11. maybe 12, and it's 4th and 9 for Baker. They're at their own 17.
That was a heck of a catch. He caught that ball down around his shoelaces. He's running a slant route, and the ball was down around the ground, and he caught it.
Yeah, Morningside argued that they knocked it loose, but they ruled him down by contact. And now Canyon Sanders comes out for the punt, only his 4th punt of the ball game. Morningside sends a bit of a rush. They almost got the block. It's a high end-over-end kick. Schwager fields it at the 47 and gets clocked by Jordan Green. That is why you fair catch. Schwager normally gets out of those, but he couldn't that time. He gets his bell rung, and Morningside takes over 1st and 10. They at their own 47.
He's lucky to hang on to the ball, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. With 4:53 left in the third, Baker 21, Morningside 16 here on the People's Bank scoreboard. Mustangs down by 5. Hoping to get a point on the board, get some kind of score here on the board. Dalenchek motions Juergensmeyer right to left to make 2 receivers on that side. Handoff Sims up the middle. Gets to midfield. That's about it. Gain of 3 for Sims up the left seam. And it's 2nd and 7 with 4:45 to play in the third.
There, Morningside brought Juergensmeyer in motion across the formation, and you did see a little bit of an adjustment in the secondary for Baker, and that's something we hadn't seen all game.
So 3rd and 7, right at midfield on the left hash mark. 2 receivers on either side after they motion Juergensmeyer left. Dalenchek drops back, out route, left side. Juergensmeyer makes the catch of the Baker 45 and is shoved out of bounds by Jalil Lafitte. It's a 5-yard completion. Juergensmeyer slow to get up on the far sideline. The result of the play is 3rd and 2 at the Baker 45, but Juergensmeyer is slow to get up. He has taken a beating all game. And now the training staff going out there to attend to him.
You know, over the course of time, the Morningside receivers are really good at yards after a catch. And if you think about it, other than Austin Johnson's first play of the game, they don't have too many yards after catch. So they are completing passes, but Baker's doing a pretty good job of coming up and tackling like they did right there to hold it. He caught it at 9 yards and got tackled at 9 yards.
Juergensmeyer comes up onto his own 2 feet and walks a little gingerly off toward the near sideline. No help from the trainers, which is good to see, but he is maybe favoring his left foot a little bit. I'm not sure, but there's a little ginger, not too much of a limp, but a little ginger. We'll check with Nathan here in just a little bit and see what his status is once he comes to the sideline.
Almost looks like he was holding his right hip.
All right. 3rd and 1, Baker 44. Handoff up the middle. Sims gets stood up by Squarlow and loses a yard of the 45. Sam Squarlow brings him down, and it's 4th and 2. And, well, Juergensmeyer's back onto the field here at the Baker 45. Well, not too much to report there. Juergensmeyer is back in. Here on 4th down and 2. Well, Morningside failed a 4th down try on their last possession that gave Baker the football back. 3:40 left in the third. Dalenchek goes under center. I formation on 4th and 2. Offset I, excuse me. Dalenchek hands it off up the middle. Sims toward the 43. He's got the marker if the near lines judge is correct.
Yeah, he definitely got it. I'll tell you how he got it. He got submarined, and he used his left arm to prevent himself from falling to the ground,
right,
and picked up about another half yard and probably picked up the first down because of it.
Just enough for a first down to the Baker 43. The first 4th down conversion of the game for the Mustangs. Here's a handoff. Sims on 1st down. He gets across the 40 to the 39 of Baker. It's a 4-yard carry to bring up 2nd and 6.
That's a huge play. We're going to look back. That was at about the 3:30 mark of the on 4th and a long 2, maybe at least 2.
Here's 2nd and 6, Baker 39. Dalenchek of the gun. 3-step drop out of it. Looks to pass. Looks deep downfield for Johnson. And it falls off of his fingertips and incomplete. Great coverage downfield. Looks like B.J. Harvey on the coverage for the Baker Wildcats. Knocks it away from Johnson. And now it is 3rd and 6 for the Mustangs of the Baker 39.
Yeah, it was good coverage. You'd like to see Austin be able to go up and get the ball at the highest point right there, because when you let the ball come down, that's when the DB got into play. And if he could have got up, and I know he's running full speed 40 yards downfield, but if he could have got up and caught it at the highest point, it would have helped.
3rd and 6, empty backfield for Joe. 3 to his right, 1 to his left. He takes a chest-high snap, 3-step drop, steps up, gets hit, fires over the middle, it's caught. Reed Juergensmeyer inside the 30, breaks a tackle 20, 15, tripped up at the 14-yard line. 25 yards to Reed Juergensmeyer. 1st and 10 for Morningside in the red zone.
Yeah, that's a route that we used to call Chicago, and it means a curl route by the number 1 receiver, and they actually brought number 1 in motion and into the 2 spot and ran him across the field, which made Juergensmeyer number 1.
Pistol set for Joe. Takes the snap. Gives it to Ponder on 1st and 10. Bounces off tackle right side. 10-5 and shoved out of bounds at the 3-yard line. That's a gain of 11. 1st and goal for Morningside.
If you look out there right now and look at Baker's defense, how many guys have their hands on their hips and look like they're breathing pretty hard? They're tired.
Quite a bit. 1st and goal, pistol set, flag on the play, blows it dead. Morningside might not have been set properly. And we'll see what this call is here with 2:21 left in the 3rd. It's false start on Morningside. So that's a 5-yard penalty. They still have 1st down, but it's 1st and goal back to the 8 now.
Yeah, I'm going to say it again, though. The Baker defense looks very tired right now.
Very gassed, yeah, absolutely. 21-16 Baker with 2:15 and counting left in the 3rd on our People's Bank scoreboard.
They've been on the field the entire 3rd quarter almost.
Pretty much, yeah. So here's Dalenchek of the pistol. 1st and goal at the 8. 2 receivers to his left. Motions Juergensmeyer in as a tight end. They give it to Sims, right side. He gets tripped up on the play at the 6-yard line. That is Grant Elston on the stop. Gain of 2, 2nd and goal.
And Baker's playing man coverage. 10 guys in the box.
Mm-hmm.
I would anticipate some type of motion and some type of pass right here.
1:37 left in the 3rd. Morningside with a touchdown takes the lead. Pistol set, Dalenchek. Handoff left side, Sims. Lowers his shoulder inside the 5. Brought down to the 4. Gain of 2. It's 3rd and goal for Morningside at the 4. Well, they're chipping away here, but
those are hard yards down there, Daniel.
Very hard yards.
Against a good run defense, those are hard yards.
100%. Clock ticking down to almost a minute to play. 1:05 on the 3rd quarter clock. 3rd and goal at the 4. Dalenchek now lines up in the gun. Trips receivers to the left. Sims to his right-hand side.
Man coverage.
Dalenchek, chest-high snap, 3-step drop, lobs it to the corner. Johnson hauls it in. A leaping grab in the back of the end zone for a Mustang touchdown. And Morningside has their first lead since quarter 1. It's 22-21 Morningside on the People's Bank scoreboard.
Looks like Morningside might be going for 2.
They are. Joe keeps his offense out on the field. The kicking unit sent back to the sideline. There's some confusion about what Morningside was going to do. I think that was a late 2-point call here by Morningside. Mustangs trying to go up by a field goal. 48 seconds left here in the 3rd. 22-21 Mustangs. Dalenchek, empty backfield. 3 to his right, 2 to his left.
Watch for Juergensmeyer here.
Going for 2. Juergensmeyer stacked on the right side behind Johnson. Drops back to throw. Looks to pass. Fires right side. Johnson makes the catch and converts his own 2-point conversion. And Morningside leads Baker by 3, 24-21 here on the People's Bank scoreboard with under a minute left in the 3rd. We will take a break. We'll come back in 30 to Olson Stadium. You are listening to Mustang Football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back to Olson Stadium in Sioux City. Daniel Versteg, Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland joins us on the sideline. We'll check in with him here after the kickoff. And we'll see what all happened on that two-point conversion, that touchdown, all that kind of stuff. 48 seconds left in the third quarter. And Morningside is up on Baker for the first time since the end of the first quarter. 24-21 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Brendan Franke sends a high end-over-end kick. This is returnable at the 5 by Jordan Green. Up the left seam, 15-20. Lost the football. It's a pile down there. Matt Strecker says it's Morningside's ball. Now our officials are going to have to dig their way through this one, see who's got it. Morningside says they've got it. They do. Morningside has the football at the Baker 23. Jordan Green fumbled it on the kick return. And Morningside has a chance to go up by 2 scores.
Yeah, he just dropped that ball, Daniel. No one even touched him. The ball just flew out of his hands.
Well, let's check in here with Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline. Nathan, my goodness, the momentum is really now in Morningside's favor.
Yeah, you talked at halftime about, last time Morningside trailed, they came out and got the lead. I think the gauntlet has been thrown down.
Absolutely, Nathan. Thank you very much. They put up 15 unanswered here in the third quarter. Now 1st and 10. Down check of the gun. Fires a screen pass left side. Schwagert makes a man miss. Outside the left sideline 20 and gets pulled down from behind in the red zone at the 17. It's a gain of 6 for Schwagert, and it's 2nd and 4 at the Baker 17.
Well, Morningside was in an unbalanced line there, and that's what allowed Schwagert to come in motion and then orbit to the bubble. And otherwise, he would have had to been on the ball. So one of those guys on the far side had to be on the ball.
Dallin check with 22 seconds in the third. Screen pass right side. Johnson has a block. 15. Tripped up inside the 15 to the 11. Gain of 6 and a first down for Morningside. And now a Baker player comes up a little slow as Mitchell Henry is slow to get up. And well, there's the show of sportsmanship. Austin Johnson trying to help him out, stretch out a cramp that he has gotten here. It's a warm day, it's a sunny day, and you're going to see cramps like that. As Mitchell Henry being stretched out there on the turf. 16 seconds left in the third. Morningside with their first lead since quarter one, 24-21, here on the People's Bank scoreboard. And we'll remind you, coming up at the end of the contest, we'll have our Long Lines post-game report. We'll get you stats and break down some of the other ball games going on around the country. And, well, we've got another final score. Northwestern has upset Grandview, 27-24. The Red Raiders are on to the semifinals. Gosh, for the first time in a while, Northwestern has upset the number 2 team in the country. They will join Kaiser in the semifinals. As Mitchell Henry gets up off the turf, he looks to be still trying to stretch it out a little bit. Must have been a really bad cramp that he developed down there. Also, with 2:13 left in the game, Lindsey Wilson leads Concordia 42-21. All right, so Northwestern winning by 3, Morningside leading. Mustang fans, you might want to be prepared for a round 2 with the Red Raiders for a trip to Grambling. That's all I'm going to say. 16 seconds left in the third. Clock starts. 1st and 10 at the 11. Handoff Sims, and he gets tripped up from behind at the 13-yard line. Sam Squarlow is there again for Baker, and it's 2nd down and 12 as the clock ends the third quarter.
It seems like the entire third quarter was played in the red zone,
right,
and on Baker's end of the field.
Yeah, we were looking down that way a lot. We're through 3 quarters. Morningside has a 3-point lead over Baker, 24-21. Here on the People's Bank scoreboard. Listen to that crowd get fired up. We'll take a break. Fourth quarter is coming up when we return to Olson Stadium in 1 minute. You're listening to Mustang postseason football here on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. And we welcome you back to Olson Stadium here in Sioux City. Daniel Versteg, Bob Goodwin up in the booth, Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline. Through 3 quarters, Morningside 24, Baker 21 on the People's Bank scoreboard. The Mustangs have 2nd down and 12 with the Baker 13. Play action for Dolanchek out of the gun. Drops back, pump fakes, fires toward the back of the end zone. Johnson got his right hand on it, leaping backwards, but it falls incomplete. The incompletion now makes it 3rd down and 12 for Morningside.
That's actually pretty good coverage by Baker. There was somebody underneath Austin Johnson there, and it forced Joe Dolanchek to throw the ball high. And had he not thrown the ball high, it would have been picked off in the end zone by the Will linebacker.
Yeah, there was someone underneath and
Yes.
over the top of Austin Johnson. He was double covered there. But now 3rd down and 12. Morningside struggled here on 3rd downs, 8 for 14 this ball game. 5 receivers, Dolanchek in the gun. Sims to his right side as a receiver. Dropping back to throw. Dolanchek fires. Leaping grab by Johnson. He breaks a tackle and fights into the end zone. It's a Mustang touchdown. Austin Johnson in for the 3rd time this contest. And it's 30-21. Morningside leads on the People's Bank scoreboard.
That, Daniel, was a great catch. The ball was
Yes.
thrown a little bit behind him. He went up and caught the ball with his hands and then was able to pick up the last 2 yards after the catch. That's a great play by Austin Johnson.
I think I've already got my offensive player of the game. Here is Chase Carter's point after try. It's up and good. Morningside's lead has extended to 10. They have scored 22 unanswered here in the second half and lead 31-21 on the People's Bank scoreboard. We will take a break. We'll come back in 30 to Olson Stadium. You're listening to Mustang postseason football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. Welcome back to Olson Stadium. Daniel Versteg, Bob Goodwin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline. We will check in with him here in just a little bit. 14:47 left to play in the ball game, and Morningside has scored 22 unanswered and leads Baker 31-21 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Here's Brendan Frankie, approaches, sends a high end-over-end right-footed kick that is bounced out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Baker will have 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Let's check in with the 3rd member of our crew. That is Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline. And Nathan, it's got to be feeling festive down there. Momentum is all in Morningside's favor.
Yeah, it's exactly how Morningside wanted to start this. We talked at half about Morningside had a few miscues, missed opportunities in the first half, and they're taking full advantage right now.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Nathan, as Morningside's lead is 10. Baker now trying to pick up the pieces. 31-21. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Low snap. Aganyaga pass toward the left sideline. Goes through the hands, incomplete to Zeke Henson. And it's 2nd down and 10 at the Baker 25.
I'll tell you what you haven't seen Baker do since about midway through the 2nd quarter, and that's throw the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And it's there. I don't really know why they're not throwing it.
14:44 left in the ball game. 31-21 Mustangs.
See, look right down here. The slot receiver, you can throw a bubble to him. They're bringing that outside. Well, they dropped him, but
here's a pass right side. Short pass complete to Sam Huckabee. He stiff-arms Stephen Evans outside the right numbers across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Gain of 8 for Sam Huckabee, and it's 3rd and 2 for the Wildcats.
Well, regardless of the score, this is a huge play. I mean, if you're Baker, you almost got to think you're in 4-down territory because you literally cannot give the ball back to Morningside. Your defense has been on the field the whole 3rd quarter.
14-10 left in the ballgame. 10-point Mustang lead. Here's 3rd and 2 for the Wildcats at their own 33. Aganyaga takes a chest-high snap. Sweet play left side. Woods looking for the corner. Bessie
missed his tackle, but then it is Jamal Jones banging him out of bounds at the 34-yard line. Gain of 1. It'll be 4th and a long one for the Wildcats.
Boy.
Oh, here comes the punting unit.
Bessie didn't make the tackle, but he made the play because
Right.
he strung it out and allowed.
He took the corner away.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
So here comes the punting unit. Canyon Sanders to kick this one away with 13 and a half left in the ballgame, and they will put that defense back out there on 4th and 1 at the Baker 34. Here's the snap. Sanders sends it away. High end-over-end kick. Bounces at the 40 of Morningside. Takes a Baker roll out of bounds. Far sideline at the 32. Morningside has 1st and 10 at their own 32.
I'm going to make a comment that's real easy for me to sit here in this box and make, but I don't agree with that. That was 4th and 1 yard. They got a better chance of getting that first down than you do the defense, who's been on the field the whole half, of stopping them.
Is it any consideration where they are on the field at their own 34?
Oh, absolutely, and that's why I said it's easy for me to
Sure,
sit here
sure.
and say that. I mean, I've been down there and had those decisions, and I probably would have done the same thing in punt, but.
Well, here we go. Morningside 1st and 10 of the 32. Dallin-Check 5-step drop out of the gun. Fires over the left seam. Jurgensmeyer wide open. 45-40 into Baker territory. Breaks the tackle 30. Down the left sideline 20. And he scampers in for another Mustang touchdown. From 68 yards out, Joe Dallin-Check finds Reed Jurgensmeyer. And it is all Morningside in the second half. 37-21 Mustangs on the People's Bank scoreboard.
That's some type of version of what in the air raid offense is called Y cross, or just bringing somebody on a deep crossing route, which is Y cross. But I go back to that 4th down play. That's exactly why you probably should have went for it.
So here's Chase Carter for the point after. Ladwig on to hold. Snap, hold, point after kick is through the uprights and good. It is 38-21. Morningside leads Baker. Oh, well, we got a flag on the far side.
Offsides.
And so they'll decline it. Take the point after. 38-21 Morningside. 13:03 left to play in regulation. We will take a break. We'll come back in 30 seconds to Olsen Stadium in Sioux City. You're listening to Mustang postseason football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back to Elwood Olsen Stadium. Daniel Versteg, former East High head football coach Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland joins us on the sideline as well. 13:03 left to play in regulation. 38-21. Number 1 rated Morningside leads number 7 rated Baker on the People's Bank scoreboard. The Mustangs have scored 29 unanswered points. And now Brendan Franke, wow, he smacked that thing out of the back of the end zone. It's an easy touchback, and Baker has 1st and 10 of their own 25. There is a Mustang down on the play. That is Garrett Hoagland slow to get up. Hoagland, the sophomore out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Might have been a cramp of some kind. I'm not sure. Well, they're not really attending to that leg. But Garrett Hoagland slow to get up at the 28-yard line. Apparently, Morningside fans want a penalty. I was not watching that play.
I don't mean to laugh. I'm sorry, Daniel. But that's kind of funny.
No, our crowd mic ends up picking up an individual fan. But as Garrett Hoagland is able to walk off the field under his own power, that's great to see.
I think he got his bell rung. That's what I think.
And that would make sense. That's why the fan would have wanted a penalty. Or wanted the refs to at least see it. I don't know. It's 1st and 10 here for Baker, though, at their own 25, with 13 minutes to play in regulation. 17-point Mustang lead. They've scored 29 unanswered here in the second half. Here's Aganyaga in the gun, 2 to his right. He turns and gives it to Woods, bounces off the right side, and he picks up maybe 2 to the 27-yard line. Now Joshua Miller comes up cramping a little bit, and looks like he's all right. Gain of 2 makes it 2nd and 8. So Morningside on defense has shut down the Baker offense, and like you said on the punt earlier, Bob, if Baker sends their defense back out there, it is going to be a rout for the Morningside offense. Aganyaga fires right side, nice completion. Inside the 35 to Sam Huckabee at the 34. It's a gain of 6, and it's 3rd and 1.
See, that throw right there is the throw that we saw all the first half from Aganyaga. That he sat there nice, and he threw a really nice ball. He hit the curl in the seam right there, and the Morningside defense has just shut the door on them. They've only got 1 first down in the second half, and that was on a reverse.
Right.
So,
but here we go, 3rd down and 1 for Baker. Handoff up the middle. Woods is stuffed. Josh Miller, Nick Gustav, and Tyler Wingert all there for no gain. And it's 4th down and 1 for Baker. Mustang defense comes up big once more.
this is literally the same spot as you were 5 plays ago, and they're going to go for it now. And
now they're down by 17.
Right, yeah.
Now it's really 4-down territory.
I mean, last time they were on 35-yard line, it was 4th and 1. It's just literally the same scenario.
So here they go. The Mustangs stack the box. I formation, play action. Aganyaga chase from behind, fires right sideline, incomplete. Jamal Jones bats it away from Tywan Lewis. It's a turnover on downs, and the Mustangs have 1st and 10 of the Baker 34.
That's exactly the same play they ran early in the second quarter when they boot to the right and then drag the right tight end across, or not drag him, but run him on a shallow cross. And that time the Morningside linebacker picked it up and took the route away, and then they had to throw to the drag coming across, and Morningside was all over it. That would have been a better play, I think, on 3rd down instead of on 4th down, because on 3rd down you still got another down to play with.
Sure. 1st and 10 for Morningside of the Baker 34. Dallin checking the gun. He gives it to Sims, bouncing off tackle. Now cuts it back middle, 35-20. Now bounces outside the right seam, 15. Stiff arms a man to the 10, to the 5. Tripped into the end zone for another Mustang touchdown. Anthony Sims from 34 yards out. Started up the middle, bounced it outside, and gets in for the touchdown. And Morningside leads 44-21 on the People's Bank scoreboard. What a run by Anthony Sims. And now Chase Carter trying to put the point after on to give Morningside a 24-point lead. Here's the snap. Hold by Ladwig, and Carter's point after try is good. 36 unanswered. 45-21. Morningside leads with 11:03 to play. We'll take a break. We're back in 30 to Olson Stadium. You're listening to Mustang Postseason Football on Fox Sports Radio 620, KMNS, Sioux City. And welcome back to Olson Stadium, where it is a volcano erupting here in this football game. Daniel Versteg, Bob Goodman up in the booth, Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline. We'll check in with Nathan here in just a little bit. 11:03 to play in regulation. Morningside 45, number 7 rated Baker 21 on the People's Bank scoreboard. A 34-yard rushing touchdown from Anthony Sims has given the Mustangs a 24-point lead, as Frankie's kick is fumbled in the end zone but recovered by Jordan Green, who knees it down for the touchback. Let's take a look down on the sideline and check in with the third member of our crew. That is Nathan Hoagland. And Nathan, what have you been seeing down there from Morningside as they start pulling away? Oh, we do not have Nathan, unfortunately. We do not have his microphone, so we'll check in with him here, I guess, in just a little bit. We'll try getting him after this play. It'll be 1st and 10 for Baker at their own 25. We'll make sure to get Nathan's report here after this play. Aginyaga, empty backfield in the gun, trips receivers to his right, one to his left. He takes a low snap, rolls out to his right, fires, and the pass through the hands of J.D. Woods, incomplete. It's 2nd and 10. Now we will check in with Nathan Hoagland. Nathan, what are you noticing down there?
Yeah, the mood has obviously increased a lot since halftime. Everything that can go Morningside's way is right now, and obviously it's having positive effects.
Absolutely. That sideline is very upbeat right now, and as they should be. It's now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion to J.D. Woods. Gives Baker 2nd down. Here's Aginyaga in the gun. 2 to his right, 1 to his left. Belt high snap. No drop. Fires over the middle. Pass is caught by A.J. Tata. He tries to break out of the tackle of Joshua Miller. He can't. It's a 4-yard completion, and it's 3rd and 6 of the 29. Josh Miller again on the stop. Normally you see middle linebackers have games like he does with 11 or 12 tackles. But, Bob, he's doing this out of the safety position. I guess he comes up as a linebacker most of the time.
Well, look at his alignment. His alignment is in the linebacker spot. I mean, look at him right now. He's in what I would call the Sam linebacker spot right now.
Yeah, they're basically playing with 4 backers out there. Here's a low snap, dropping back to throw. Aginyaga steps up and then fires over the middle. Jordan Green makes the catch. Has Green to run down the right seam. Looks outside the right numbers, 20, 15. Jones cramps up, and Green sprints into the end zone by him for 6. A 71-yard completion from Marco Aginyaga to Jordan Green. And Baker is not quite done. It is 45-27. Morningside leads with 10 minutes left in regulation.
I think a bigger concern is Jamal Jones.
Yes.
I'm afraid that's not maybe it is. I was afraid it was a hamstring, but they are stretching it like it's a cramp now, so that's
good to
news,
see,
I guess.
Yeah. Well, now Baker is going to line up to go for 2 here and try and cut it down to 16 with 10 minutes to play. High formation here for Aginyaga. Under center, fakes the handoff. Play action, bootleg right side, fires, and A.J. Tata makes the catch and gets into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And with 10:04 to play, this one's not over yet. It is 45-29. Morningside leads Baker on the People's Bank scoreboard. We'll take a break. We're back in 30 to Olsen Stadium here in Sioux City. You're listening to Mustang Football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. Welcome back to Olsen Stadium here in Sioux City. Daniel Versteg, Bob Goodman, Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline. We'll check in here with Nathan in just a little bit as they are still attending to Jamal Jones, but he does get back up and is trying to walk it off here. We'll still check in with Nathan after this kickoff. 10:04 to play, 45-29. Morningside leads Baker on the People's Bank scoreboard. A 71-yard touchdown pass from Marco Aginyaga to Jordan Green. And then the 2-point conversion that followed puts Baker down by 16, which is technically still a 2-score game, as Devin DeRuse tees this one up and is ready to kick it away for the number 7 rated Baker Wildcats. He approaches, sends a short, right-footed end-over-end pooch kick that is fielded and kneed down at the 39 by Jack Sievert. So that's where Morningside will take over, 1st and 10. Let's check in with Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline. Nathan, how's Jamal doing down there? What did you see as they were working on him?
Yeah, they were working on his leg there, and it looked like obviously they avoided their biggest concern, but I mean he's still tight. They still need him to try and walk it off a little bit.
Well, thank you very much, Nathan. Yeah, they're now working on him at the trainer's table out there. With 10:04 to play, 45-29 Morningside has the football. Pistol set, handoff up the middle. Sims breaks a tackle left side and gets ruled down of forward progress at the 41-yard line. Gain of 2 for Sims, and it's 2nd and 8.
Well, the good news for Baker is you score and make it a 2-possession game, but the bad news is you put your defense right back on the field quickly. And I mean, I know scoring it was the objective, but you're putting a tired defense back on the field, I'm afraid.
9:34 to play. 45-29 Mustangs on the People's Bank scoreboard. 2nd and 8 for Morningside of the 41. Dallin checking the gun. Trips to his right, none to his left. Takes a eye-level snap, hands it off Sims, and he gets driven backwards for a loss of 1. That is Michael Walker, and John Skyer on the stop. And it's 3rd down and 9 for Morningside.
I'll tell you what, the Baker front four, along with the linebackers, are very good against the run. They have been all day. I know Sims is going to end up rushing for over 100 yards, of course, but, I mean, a lot of that has to do with an inability of their offense to stay on the field.
Right. So here's 3rd down and 9 at the 40-yard line of Morningside. Trips to the right of Joe. Drops back 3 steps to throw out of the gun. Fires over the middle, and a catch by Juergensmeyer. He makes the catch and survives the contact at the Baker 45 and gets brought down at the 40. Gain of 20 for Reed Juergensmeyer. 1st down for Morningside.
Well, if you, for whatever stupid reason, ever question Reed Juergensmeyer's toughness, I'll show you that tape right there. Did you see his head?
Oh, yeah.
His head bounced back. That safety just drilled him, and he hung onto the ball. That's a great catch.
He has taken one heck of a beating here in this one. Well, I've already penned in one player as offensive player of the game. I think there could be about 4 that we could give this to for Morningside. Now here's 1st and 10 of the Baker 40. Handoff up the middle. Sims looking left side, and he's stood up at the 38 by Mitchell Henry. They give him the 37 as he extended the ball forward. Gain of 3, and it's 2nd and 7.
Well, I think at halftime, Morningside would have said we met the enemy, and the enemy is us. And in the second half, they can say we have defeated the enemy.
Right, exactly.
And they have gotten out of their way, and this is the Morningside team that we've seen forever.
Yeah, we're used to 36 unanswered most of the time, and sometimes 50 or 60 unanswered. But Morningside doing that here in the second half of this postseason game before that touchdown by Baker has been pretty impressive. Dalenchek, sweep play, right side Sims, up the right seam 35, and falls forward across the 30 for a Mustang 1st down. Gains 7, and Morningside moves the chains once more. There was 7:15 and counting left in regulation. Morningside looking to advance to the semifinals once again as they lead Baker 45-29 here on the People's Bank scoreboard. For Morningside, it would be their 4th consecutive semifinal trip in program history. Here's Dalenchek in the gun. 2 to his left, none to his right. Turns to his left, gives it to Matt Strecker. Off tackle left side across the 25 and tripped forward to the 24. Gain of 6 for Strecker. And it's 2nd down and 4 for the Mustangs.
You know, that's kind of, and maybe I'm going to misspeak here, but that's kind of Morningside's stable run play there as they pull the backside guard and just run a little G scheme. And the Morningside backs are so good at setting that up and then bending it behind the pulling guard, and here you have a kid playing tight end 6 months ago, and he's doing it really well right now. So
2nd down and 4 for the Mustangs of the Baker 24. Dallin checking the gun, a receiver on either side. Gives it up the middle. Strecker bounces off a defender and can't get much farther. He's brought down at the line of scrimmage for no gain. It is 3rd down and 4 at the Baker 24.
Same play, just the other way. I mean, that's...
Fortunately, that one does not quite get the yardage the first play got, with 5:50 left to play in the 3rd. 45-29 Morningside on the People's Bank scoreboard. Morningside put up 36 unanswered points in this second half before Baker scored a 71-yard touchdown here just a few minutes ago. Dalenchek, 2 receivers to his left, none to his right. With 7 on the play clock, turns to the sideline, gets a new play. 3rd and 4. Takes the snap, pump fakes a screen, now gives it to Reed on a pass inside the left numbers of the 20, and brought down there for a gain of 4.5 and a first down to the red zone for the Mustangs.
That's a great route by Jurgensmeyer there. He knew he had to get 5 yards for the first down, and he got 5.5, and he ran the route right at the sticks, a half-yard pass, and that's just unbelievable, uncanny instincts for the game of football.
Mm-hmm. And now it's 1st and 10 at the Baker 20-yard line. Morningside in the red zone once again. You're trying to score once again. Dalenchek, 2 receivers to his right in the gun. Sims to his right side. Gives it to Sims. Has a hole. 15-10 up the middle to the 5. Flag comes out from behind the play as Sims gets brought down to the 6 for a 14-yard carry, but hold everything. So he might have a hold. We'll see. Our white hat threw the flag. Let's see what he's got. It is a hold on the Mustangs. So negate that run. It'll be a 10-yard penalty. And depending on, I guess, where the spot is, this will be 10 yards from basically the original line of scrimmage. So it's 1st down and 20. Morningside backed up to the Baker 30. 4:48 left to play in regulation. Morningside 45, Baker 29 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Here's Dalenchek in the gun. 2 receivers to his right, 2 tight ends, 1 on either side. Play action. Dalenchek fires right side. Jurgensmeyer makes the catch again and gets clocked inside the 15 at the 14 by Bryson Briggs. It's a gain of 17 to make it 2nd and 3.
When Reed wakes up tomorrow morning, he's going to feel like he's going to know what it feels like to be a 60-year-old man. I guarantee you. He's not going to be able to get out of bed because he got clocked again right there.
That is 11 catches, 187 yards, and a receiving touchdown for Reed Jurgensmeyer. Austin Johnson has 8 catches, 149 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And Joe is close to 400 passing yards. He's already over 3,000 on this season. Pistol set, handoff Sims. Gets stood up at the line of scrimmage again. At the 13, no gain. And it's 3rd down and 3 for the Mustangs of the Baker 13. Well, I don't know, Bob. This is a really tough choice for offensive player of the game. I think I'm going to keep with the one that I picked earlier on. But Sims, Dalenchek, Jurgensmeyer, Johnson, those are 4 very worthy recipients, I think.
Well, I'm going to give you 5 more. The offensive line.
The offensive line,
I
right.
mean, the offensive line in the second half has played very, very well.
And they've had to be – you talk about the Baker defense being tired. Morningside's offensive line the same way. Here's an offset eye. Dalenchek under center. Hands it off right side. Sims on 3rd and 3. Had a second effort inside the 10 and picks up enough yardage for a first down. It'll be 1st and goal as Sims on the carry gets to the 9-yard line.
You don't realize this, but you just accidentally fallen upon one of the biggest arguments in football, one of the biggest debates, and that is it harder to play offense or defense physically? And,
right.
And I think it's harder to play defense, but, I mean.
I'd agree with that. I mean, you're the one that has to bring down a 200-pound running back, wide receiver, quarterback 11 times throughout the course of a drive.
And you might have to run 10 yards to do it.
Right. Here's 1st and goal, offset eye, handoff up the middle, Sims, and he picks up nothing on that carry. Mark him down at the 9. It's 2nd and goal, 2:40 to play in the ball game. Time is running out here for Baker.
The 45 points on the scoreboard is not indicative of Baker's defensive effort today.
Right.
They've done a really good job. I mean, they've blown a few coverages once in a while, but I mean, they've hung in there against some adverse conditions. You think back to the 3rd quarter. Baker turned the ball over twice inside their own inside their own red zone.
Right. Yeah, it's not been the best conditions here for Baker in the second half. Offset eye, handoff Sims, has a hole down to the 5, keeps his feet moving, and is brought down to the 3 with 2 minutes to play in the ball game. It'll be 3rd down and goal at the 3. So Morningside has 3rd and goal. It'll be the last team to make it to the semifinals. As Morningside can just pretty much kneel it out. I guess it's 3rd down, but it'll be 3rd and goal here at the 3 for the Mustangs. Offset eye. Dowling check under center. Minute 30 to play. Here's the handoff. Right side Sims. We've got a flag that blows the play dead. That's from our far lines judge, which is the headlines judge. Let's see what we got for a call here.
I think it's going to be illegal procedure.
False start. They got Tyler Anderson for it. So Anderson picks up the false start with 1:26 to play. 45-29. Morningside up on Baker on the People's Bank scoreboard. And the Mustangs are looking for their 4th semifinal appearance in a row. 2017 losing in the semifinals. 2018 winning the national championship. 2019 winning the national championship. And now trying to make it to May 1 for the NAIA semifinals. Mustangs are staring toward the sideline after our White Hat had to give an explanation to Baker head coach Jason Thorin. So now it is 3rd and goal at the Baker 8-yard line after the 5-yard false start. Offset eye formation. Sievert right side. Sims in the backfield. Dowling check under center. Handoff right side Sims. Oh, he had a hole toward the goal line, but gets upended on the play by Grant Elston. Gain of 1 makes it 4th and goal at the 7.
I'm kind of wondering where he came from, because as we're looking at that, it looks like he's just going to walk into the end zone, and he came from nowhere.
That was a great play, although in the grand scheme of things probably won't impact the contest, but does keep Morningside from a final touchdown. So it is 4th and goal here with 52 seconds to play. The Mustangs do have to run one here, but I think Coach Ryan's going to call a timeout to determine things here as the play clock with 2, with 1. There's the timeout with 41 seconds to play. Morningside 45, Baker 29 on the People's Bank scoreboard, and a timeout called by Coach Ryan. Mustang faithful will get a round of applause in as well. We'll take a break with this timeout. We're back in 30 seconds to Olsen Stadium. You are listening to Mustang postseason football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. And we welcome you back to Elwood Olsen Stadium. Daniel Versteeg, Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline. It's 4th and goal for the Mustangs at the 7, who lead by 16 on the People's Bank scoreboard. 45-29, Morningside, 41 seconds to play. And the Mustangs, either they score here or they score here or they don't, basically, and give Baker the football back. They have it at the Baker 7-yard line. Coming up on our Long Lines post-game report, we'll run down finals from around the country, some stats, and we'll also chat with Coach Steve Ryan. Trips to the left. Dowling checking the gun. Fires toward the left corner. And that pass overthrown and incomplete. I know exactly what you're thinking, Bob.
That's a good no call, because it literally
doesn't
makes,
matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, but that's interference. I mean, I don't know if you saw what happened on the sideline, though, is Morningside got in the wrong, coming out of the formation, they had the wrong people on board.
They did, right.
And Swigert went running on the field. Coach Ryan should have got a horse collar penalty, because he grabbed him by the back of the shoulder pads and pulled him back.
Yeah, no, I totally knew what you were thinking. That is pass interference all the way, but I do appreciate our officials not calling that. Here's 1st and 10 at the 7-yard line for Aganyaga. He has 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Belt high snap, drops back into the end zone to throw. Fires over the middle. It's caught. by Brennan Feeback at the 15, across the 15 to the 20. It's a gain of 13 and a first down. Clock stops at 28 seconds to play.
When this game is over, I'm going to make a very profound statement for me. Okay?
All right.
And
that's quite a tease.
I
like it. Here's 1st and 10. Trips to the left. Pass over the middle. Caught by Woods at the 25. Up the right seam. He does not get first down yardage at the 28. A timeout is called by Baker. Their second of the half. And with 13 seconds left, Baker will have 2nd down and 2.
Well, I'll make it right now.
I was going to say, can you make it right now?
Right now.
All right.
Baker's defense is impressive. They played very, very well.
Yep.
Morningside scored 45 points.
Right.
Think about that.
Right.
You're giving the other team's defense all the credit in the world, but Morningside scored 45 points.
Right.
That's how good Morningside's offense is.
I think I remember a similar – I think it was the Dakota Wesleyan game. You said something similar where Dakota Wesleyan came in here and you said played its best game of football probably of the season. Mm-hmm. But Morningside still won. What was it, 56 to 21?
Yep.
I mean, it just goes to show the toughness and how tough it is to game plan against this Morningside.
Well,
team.
that's impossible.
Right.
But and again, I think offensively, I think a lot of people know that, but the Morningside defense won this game in the second half.
Right.
Their defense just literally shut Baker down in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to the tune of a 36 to 8 point differential here in the second half. 2nd down and 2 at the 28, out of the timeout by Baker. 13 seconds left. Low snap. Aganyaga pass over the middle is incomplete, wide of Brennan Feeback. And it is 3rd down and 2, 8 seconds to play with the Mustangs up by 16. Want to remind you our Long Lines post-game report coming up after this contest. We'll give you the final scores from around the country, and I guess we'll give you our best bet of what we think the matchup is. I think I already know what this matchup is going to be, and it's going to be round 2. I have a feeling it'll be round 2 as we'll probably play an in-conference rival. Aganyaga, pass to the left side, is caught by Nate Pauley. He gets out of bounds at the 35 with 3 seconds left. Moves the sticks for first down to the 34. 45-29, Morningside. 3 seconds away from advancing to their 4th straight semifinal appearance in program history. And shutting down Baker for the 3rd time in the playoffs. This is the 3rd meeting between these two in playoffs, playoff play.
You think Morningside's in prevent defense? They got 5 guys 30 yards deep.
Here's Aganyaga. They still get a pass rush on him. Rolls out right, fires toward the sideline. Play ends here. Pauley makes the catch, 45, steps out of bounds to the 48. And your Mustangs are on to the semifinals. 39 wins in a row. The most dominant team in the country is 1 win away from Grambling. 45-29, the Mustangs take down Baker on our People's Bank scoreboard. What a game. The Mustangs put up 36 in the second half to Baker's 8. And Morningside is the 4th and final team into the semifinals here in the NAIA Football Championship Series. Let's get a break in. We'll come back. Our Long Lines post-game report is just around the corner. We'll have stats from this one, some final scores from around the country, and we'll have a chat with the head coach of the Morningside football team, Coach Steve Ryan. Nathan will track him down on our Long Lines postgame report. We're back in 4 minutes to Elwood Olson Stadium here in Sioux City. You are listening to Mustang Football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. Hey, we welcome you back to Elwood Olson Stadium. Daniel Versteg alongside Bob Goodvin up in the booth. Nathan Hoagland down on the sideline as well. It is our Long Lines post-game report as Morningside, trailing 21-9 at halftime, wins against Baker 45-29 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Morningside has won 39 games in a row and is on to its fourth consecutive semifinals in program history. What a win. Morningside outscored Baker 36-8 in the second half, Bob, and that's a testament to not only the offensive play of Morningside, but the defensive play of the Mustangs, shutting down Baker's offense completely.
Well, the game turned in the third quarter, and it turned because of Morningside's defense. They just shut Baker down. I mean, Baker only had one first down in the third quarter, and that was on a reverse. And they got 2 turnovers down in the red zone. And if you want to pinpoint it to something on defense, I think it was their front four.
Right.
Not that their front four made a lot of plays individually, but they just started to dominate the game and just took away the run game. And then what they couldn't do in the first half is get pressure on Alangada, and they did in the second half, and he wasn't near the quarterback in the second half. He was in the first.
Right. It was a much different second half from the first half, and that's how Morningside rolls. 45-29. Mustangs improved to 10-0 and are on to the semifinals for the fourth year in a row. Baker falls to 7-1, a fantastic season for the Wildcats. Unfortunately, their points allowed in the postseason are not going to be reflective of the points they allowed in the regular season. Only 35 points they allowed in their 6 regular season games. They allowed 99 combined in the playoffs and won one of those games. Would you believe it? So Morningside gets the win on our Long Lines post-game report as we wait for Coach Ryan to get done addressing his team. Nathan Hoagland will be chatting with Coach Ryan